welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews podcast number 19.
Number 19!
You are Gary.
I'm Iain.
And I'm Andy.
And today we are going to be catching up and talking about recent film news, a little bit about E3.
Yes.
I heard this thing happened.
We put a poll up on the Facebook page
We did.
and asked you, our audience, for the theme of this podcast, and it was a bit of a tie.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Very surprised? Yeah, well, actually, I'm not surprised. People have been asking us to talk about a particular couple of films for quite a while now, and that's Big Trouble in Little China and The Thing. And so it was no surprise that Kurt Russell and John Carpenter will be the theme of this podcast.
I don't know if I've seen any of their films, though.
Really? You mean today?
Yeah, possibly today.
You'll just have to wing
I'm
it.
just gonna wing it,
Aren't a couple on film for tonight anyway, so I suppose we can do that later.
Yes, well, future timeline and all that kind of stuff with the podcast going up.
Oh, sorry.
We have our beers, I believe.
Yes.
And in the third part of the podcast, we will be answering your questions.
Yes, I love the questions.
So, first thing I do want to catch everybody up on is the disaster that I explained in the last podcast. After the PC failure, obviously, as you know, the channel didn't go down. We kept content going up.
We got the podcast done for 18.
There was one unresolved issue, and that was the cat. The cat that escaped. The cat that I was house-sitting for my mother while she went away to spend a week with her twin sister.
It's harsh, man. Harsh.
I had the cat one night, and the very next morning, the cat was gone.
You had one job, Gary.
I looked after that cat 3 times beforehand, and it was a very skittish cat that always hid, and I always coaxed it out with food, and then kept it in my room, and looked after it till it was taken home. This time, it decided to jump out of the first floor window and leg it.
Yeah.
I decided not to tell me mum until hopefully I'd found the cat, and I didn't want to spoil her holiday.
If Ferris Bueller taught us anything, you don't panic and tell him straight away.
No.
So, but then the thing is, I had an entire 7 days of building up stress of not telling her and not being able to find the cat.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say, I hope you were going to drop, but the cat came
and
back
then
the very next day.
The day of me mum coming home, I rung her while she was on her way home and told her that the cat was gone and that she needs to come here. Maybe she can coax the cat out. And it was heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. You never want to be the one to cause your mother to cry. And she was walking around the house screaming the cat's name out in tears. And I just kind of stood there like a twat.
That is harrowing.
Yes, it was harrowing.
Oh my god.
That poor cat.
That is awful. His poor mother, dude.
Yeah, the mother too.
See, my mum was heartbroken when she had her other cat died of old age, and she was like, I'm never getting another cat again until she got this one. You know?
Oh, so this is really her fault, is what you're saying.
I'm just trying to shift the blame. I don't feel the guilt no more.
Oh, you did tell me you weren't
But
getting
no, I mean, I'll be walking home from work and I'll see a cat-like shadow down an alleyway, and I'm walking down these long alleyways looking at shadows. I'm like, no, not the cat. No, not the cat. I can thankfully say we do live in a cat-friendly-ish culture. That if they saw a stray cat,
we
would look after it.
Yeah, they're pretty much worshipped as gods again now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, they had that cat killer up in Guildford, didn't they? Where the guy was there was a guy going around. He was decapitating cats and leaving their bodies so that people could find them. He killed like 40-odd cats.
Jeez.
Wait, leaving the bodies?
Yeah.
What happened to the heads?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't look that much into it. I was like, there's a guy up there killing cats. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that story.
He's like, if I was rich, we'd call this trophy hunting.
So, Andy, while you were away from the last couple of podcasts, you went to a big tournament.
I went to London.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please tell us.
I went up to the Warhammer 40k London Grand Tournament. We started going to this last year, and there's 3 of us went last year, and then 5 of us went up this year. Oh, it was awesome, man. So competitive. I might bore a few people because they were like, "Oh, shut up, nerd, 40k." But, you know, we're all big gamers.
We're
me
geeks,
and both 40k players, and it's a 2-day competitive tournament. But I mean, the tournament was great. I actually did really well. It was like 400 players. I placed 83rd, which for me is pretty good.
Yeah, 400.
Got nominated for best painted as well. I'm a big painter. If you don't know, you have to paint these figures yourself. You know, and there was only out of all those armies 8 nominated.
Then you spend like
So
5 or
very
6
good.
weeks like
In prep.
pre-painting all of your stuff before you went down.
Months, mate.
Months,
No, it was before Christmas I started. And I mean, if my wife asks, it only cost me about like £50.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it was cheap. It was cheap.
It's a really cheap hobby.
Yeah.
If you ask my
Air
wife.
quotes.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
But yeah, man, that was amazing fun. But it's a real good social event as well. I know we like get stigmatized with the whole like, oh, these people are like socially inept, but I mean, we went up there last year. We sat in the hotel. I was sat on my own. The guys were upstairs. They were coming down from their rooms. Excuse me. I was sat, just by the bar.
Yeah.
I was on my phone. And these 2 guys came in. We had to we went and pre-registered the day before, so we had like our LGT bands on, so we could just get in and out really fast.
Yeah.
And this German dude, he's from Belgium, come up and he sees me and goes, Warhammer? Like this. And I was like, yes, not like that's my name. Or anything. I was like, yeah, man. And this other guy came up behind him, who's also German, and said, oh, can we sit? I was like, yeah, man, fill your boots. There's no one there. Because again, it is. So shows that we're all there.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you play 40k and I play 40k, we should be best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we started talking. He's like, beer? I'm like, yes, you are my best friend. Sat down, bought me a beer, and we're all talking. And then I was sat there for a minute thinking, he's describing what he brought, and I was like, dude, you played last year, right? And so did you. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, you've got this and you've got that. And he's like, yes. Looking at me really like stalker. Yeah. And I was like, you played my buddy Tom and you played my buddy Sandbags. And I described the arms. Like, yeah, we did. How did you know that? I was like, well, they're over there. And they walked out and it was like a big reunion.
Yeah.
And
1 year later.
And now, we were hanging out all weekend. We're all friends on Facebook and stuff now. And I was like,
Nice.
that's
Cool.
what it's about, man.
Yeah,
So,
socialising.
yeah, it was really good fun. If I can plug it, I've got my own podcast as well called Sustained Fire. So if you're interested in 40k and tabletop gaming, we're just about to, by the time this is out, we'll have dropped our episode as well for London Grand Tournament. There's a really funny story about one of our guys, Sean.
Yeah, I
who,
heard about the Sean story
dude,
where
you gotta
he
listen
was,
to the podcast
he was
because his
partially
third game
bullied.
was bad.
He was partially bullied
I
into
can-
making choices
Oh.
he wouldn't have made.
Well, I can happily
Normally.
say that I played 5 top blokes. All the guys that I played are guys I'd have a beer with.
Was it strategy or dice rolls in the end for you?
For me, I won 3 out of my 5 games. One of the games, my dice were so good, the guy checked to see they weren't loaded, and I had no objection. I was like, yeah, go for it, because this is ridiculous. Mathematically, this shouldn't be happening.
yeah,
Because I'm on this side of it, I don't care. Fuck you.
All the sixes.
Oh, it really was.
Wow.
But one of the games I played that I lost was against a guy from Team England, who's, long story short, basically, I put my stuff out, he put his stuff out, he described what he had for me, and I was like, oh, your stuff is literally geared to kill mine, isn't it? And he's like,
In every
yeah,
way.
it kind of is. And I'm like, short game then, let's grab a beer afterwards, Yeah, so it was pretty much just, like the guys
rolls.
that beat me, fair and square, no hard.
So how was it with the army placement in tournament play? Is it one army, then one army, or is it your entire army, their entire army? And
Oh, what
who
you mean when
goes
you're setting up?
placement? Yeah.
You deploy unit by unit.
Okay,
one
and who
time.
goes first? Is it?
It's a dice
Dice
off.
roll.
You get
Fair.
+1 for whoever finishes deploying first, so you get a slight advantage of having less troops on the ground, which for me was great because I like to play a smallish army of tough things, which is basically what I did because it plays fast.
Right.
A couple of the guys we went with had trouble with their armies where it's like, I only got like 2-3 turns out. And I'm like, you got 2.5 hours to play, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I was finishing my games within like 90 minutes and having a full 6 turns. Because I picked an army that I knew how to use, I knew all the rules for, I didn't have to stop, I didn't have to check a book, and it was really fast. And that's what I like about it. We actually last
It takes a
weekend
long
as
time
well-
to get to that point.
It does, yeah, but I've been playing for like 20 years.
You got to play the same. I'm the same with my Space Wolves. I've played them over so much.
So like now you know...
I know what weapons
exactly,
do what.
so you don't have to consult a book, which is great. But I went to another tournament last week in Crediton, which is just sort of like about an hour up the road from us. It was only a 1 day, 3 games. I took the same army because it was the same restrictions, and I was like, well, that's packed. Great. It was already in the case. Done. And that one, I think, I finished 4th out of 30 players, which was good. I won best painted as well, which I was happy with. But I played the last game I played. I think took 50 minutes, and I beat the guy. But I barely had anything left. It was a real war of attrition. It was a fantastic game, but because he knew his stuff and I knew my stuff, but we knew each other's as well.
Yes,
we didn't have to
always the
explain
aim.
anything.
That's always the aim.
So, oh man, so good. So yeah, that was awesome, man. That tournament was great. I'll definitely be going again next year. I mean, we're going to be going every year, to be honest, because last year there was 3 of us. This year was 5. We're just trying to take more and more people up. because we had a fantastic weekend. Went to see Deadpool 2 while we were there and stuff.
Very
up in
good.
London
Still need to see that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's as good as the first one.
Got shit-faced drunk in the hotel and that, as you do. Walked into it the next day really hungover, because that's the only way I play day 2 of a tournament. Still won a game out of the 2, so I was happy with that, you know. Yeah, good fucking time, man. Then I went off to Cyprus for 2 weeks and just got ruined.
Sat in the sun
hammered
for 2 weeks.
Great.
Nice.
Hence why I've been away.
Yes, indeed. Well, while you've been away, there's been a recent film release come out that had Ian and I quite divided.
Oh, here we go.
To say the least, indeed.
Jurassic Park. Go on, get out.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
World, Fallen Kingdom.
Which is the 5th movie in the Jurassic Park series. And our review, I think, is still up, Ian, for Jurassic Park 1.
Yeah.
In which would pretty much say that is the definitive dinosaur movie.
Yeah. Jurassic Park 1 is absolutely
100%.
awesome.
Jurassic Park 2, had its moments. Jurassic Park 3 was inferior in every single
Trying to
way.
keep the franchise alive.
That first movie, Jurassic Park, is the last genuine blockbuster I've ever been to, because we were queued around the bit. That's where the term blockbuster comes from. That's the last time I can remember queuing around the cinema to go and see it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I remember waiting 6 hours to see the first Jurassic Park film.
10.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
See, now you say you really didn't like Fallen Kingdom because it was cliched and it was just boring and repetitive.
Idiotic characters making very stupid decisions.
Right.
And, you know, I recently, I'm just going to do a quick comparison between 2 scenes that come early on in both Lost to the 4th movie.
Jurassic World.
Where Chris Pratt gets trapped in the cage with the dinosaur and he escapes.
Yes, with the Indominus Rex.
And he,
in the first one, and he escapes
goes
out.
underneath the truck and covers himself in gasoline. It's like a really tense moment.
Yeah.
But smart.
Smart, yeah. There's a similar sort of sequence now in this next film where he's isolated where the military have just tranquilized him whilst the volcanoes go
on. And he's got to get away from the lava.
You know, and it is like it's out of Ace Ventura.
It's fucking
you know, where his arms are all flapping around, where he's trying to crawl away from the lava. I will not, tranquilized.
I will not deny it. It's absolutely
I'm just
stupid.
like, what
Chris
is
Pratt
happening?
just rolling around. I'm like... But he's obviously not going to melt in the lava because I'm sat here with my...
Because it's Star-Lord.
Because I'm sat here with my 8-year-old watching Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. You know, there's many children around. And
yeah, but you got to put him in a bit of peril. I mean, otherwise it's just...
a bit of peril? The guy was tranquilizing with lava.
Standing around for 2 hours. I mean,
how do you
say
get
about
more
it's
peril?
People making stupid decisions. They did it in the first one. The idea of bringing dinosaurs back to life is a fucking stupid decision.
Exactly.
But it would have made Jurassic Park a bit boring if they didn't do it.
See, I feel like the sequel was a bit rushed. You know,
it's had 3 years to make this one.
But with 3 years, though, I mean, if you're going to make a Jurassic Park
but these days
blockbuster,
that's fairly slow.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a Jurassic Park blockbuster, you've got to have like at least 5 or 6 years behind it to keep the story fresh. But like you said, they go back to the island for like the first 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the island's gone.
Yeah. Then it's all around a billionaire's mansion.
And it's all around, yes.
Where they are auctioning off dinosaurs to drug cartels and
things. It's Dino Crisis.
It is Dino Crisis. I was thinking Dino Crisis.
Yes.
I was just like, and then I was just sat there like, I just want my own Dino Crisis movie that's 18 rated and has military with guns not being knocked over like bowling pins by one fucking dinosaur.
See, now I was sat there watching it with Dylan, and Dylan was transfixed by this whole thing. To him, it was new.
Yeah.
You know, watching these dinosaurs sneak around. This is the first proper sequel.
Dude,
of the series.
You got to remember, like you said, it is literally. When I talk about I went to see Jurassic World, I was 10 years old. It's fucking 25 years ago.
Yeah, and
but now this is their Jurassic Park.
It is.
And in the same way,
the
like, I don't understand when my daughter sits there and is like, "Isn't Ninja Turtles cool?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's Michael Bay."
I've got both those
Netflix,
films on
like,
DVD.
You know,
Just to jump to I think I omitted this as a new segment, but a third live-action teenage, or the 6th live-action
is it?
movie is now in
yes.
I rewatched it with her the other day, the second one. Fuck me in the beard.
I never even watched the second
it's
one.
It's absolutely terrible.
It's literally unwatchable.
But it is watchable because you watch the Ninja Turtles just beat the crap out of everything.
Mate, Stephen Amell is...
Stephen Amell's a dick. How did you like Arrow?
Well,
How
I
did you
didn't
watch
I
Arrow?
don't. I stopped watching
Yeah,
it.
so
couldn't finish the first
I didn't
season.
even watch it. I was just like, who's this guy? Oh, look, he's in Turtles. I'm like,
not because of Stephen Amell's performance or anything. It got bad.
didn't he punch out Chris Jericho? Or was it The Miz?
No, Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
I think
Cody
it was
Rhodes. Yeah, that's right.
Many people have punched out Chris Jericho, but
Yeah.
you know.
But just to finish off with Jurassic Park or Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Sorry, because I've not seen it, but is it not great to have Jeff Goldblum back though?
He's in 2 minutes of the
it's
film.
shit.
Oh, so the trailer is Jeff Goldblum's
Yes,
entirety.
Yes, it
because
is. And
he-
he's sat in one seat the entire scene. He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, they filmed the one scene and then split it from at the beginning but at the end. But I will say, in the controversy that is the podcast, Bryce Dallas Howard in 3D was fucking awesome. You know, and if you're a Chris Pratt fan, you're gonna love the close-ups of him. But you know, yeah.
Dude, Jeff Goldblum is one of my most favourite actors of all time.
Yeah.
He really is. So
It's great that he's having a career comeback.
Because the army that I played at the London Grand Tournament is a Chaos army. I'm a big Chaos player.
Yeah.
I purposely bought a T-shirt of Ian Malcolm's face that just said Chaos under it, and I was like, that's my LGT T-shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, the newest Jurassic Park film had some of the best visuals
Yes.
that you could print out, put in a frame, and put on your wall.
Well, they got to be good at it by now.
Yeah, they should have had that whole end segment at the beginning on the island, and then have the island explode. That would
Yeah.
be nice. And
I would
then
have had the volcano as the climax.
Yeah, have it finished with the boat going off, because the way the film
Yeah, but
finishes.
sorry, I mean, there's actual volcanoes erupting at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's a bit
like
much.
a little
Yeah.
close to
Yeah,
home, isn't it?
a little bit
True.
close to home. Yeah.
True. But next thing I want to bring up that I watched and binge watched in 2 sessions and couldn't, even when it was finished,
Golden Girls.
I
Fuck you,
thought
Golden Girls is good.
I thought that I had slipped into an alternate reality where this show existed. I watched it and then came back to my own reality.
Sweet Valley High.
Cobra Kai.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to watch
I need
this.
to-
It's
I need
on
to
my
see
list,
this.
dude.
I watched the first episode. I was like, quite a few people have said, "Oh, you need to watch Cobra Kai," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard about it. It's supposed to be a Karate Kid sequel." Like, pfft, really?
Yeah,
whatever.
Flipped, right?
Yes.
After the first 20 minutes, each episode's only 20, 23 minutes long.
It's a net series, right?
It's a
it's on YouTube
YouTube
series.
original
YouTube
series. And
Revolution,
yes,
sorry.
they brought back the 2 original actors from the film.
Well, the
Awesome.
Ralph Macchio
And,
Yeah.
and fucking
Blonde dude.
And the
Blonde
blonde
dude.
dude, yeah.
Blonde dude,
Johnny,
Johnny,
the one,
yeah.
the one who
Johnny.
loses at the
Yeah.
end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fight. And the story picks up this amount of time later where he still hasn't gotten over getting kicked in the face in that tournament.
Well, Gary, you say he lost, but he didn't, because he should have been disqualified because he gave
cheating.
him an illegal kick to the face.
But then at the same time, he also cheated by trying to cripple him during the fight.
well, you know, I'm sorry, but Cobra Kai never died. No, you know.
yeah, but he does.
No mercy.
He does
What am I
hand him the
saying?
trophy at the end, like they're friends.
But the thing is that the series goes into the comedy aspect. It has sort of the teen high school drama elements.
I noticed that from the trailer,
Okay.
from the 2 main
But
actors.
but then it also has like really serious issues that it deals with, like father issues, family.
because it's more present day, he's a little.
But it
he's
is
a lot
also
older.
an absolute. At the same time, it is a complete remake of the first film.
They're in their
Nice.
50s.
But the thing is,
right?
they're
Yeah.
both. The way
Yeah.
it's flipped is that they're both train. They both end up training each other's sons,
And it's- yeah.
so to speak.
And it comes across like Ralph Macchio's being the bit of the dick now
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
right,
got
that's
the
what-
whole power and the.
Yeah, he's
they're
got a
both
business
they're
and
both
stuff,
complete dicks.
Ah, nice.
And because they're both
Love
complete
it.
dicks, they both hate each other, and then
Nice.
they keep trying to one up each
They're
other.
gonna keep kicking each other in the face on the last episode.
Oh,
The
no,
the
just gonna
very
be
last
kicking each other,
episode
yeah.
has a cameo appearance at the end that makes you go, "Fucking give me season 2 right now."
tell me it's fucking his old trainer, the old Cobra Kai dojo leader.
Spoilers, yes.
I was gonna say, it can't be Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi's
No,
dead, isn't he?
no, Miss Maggie's dead. But
You just use Jackie Chan.
Danny is
Yeah,
running
Jack
his car factory. He's basically running a car store.
Showroom. Yeah.
Yeah, based on Mr. Miyagi, and of course he gives away bonsai trees to all of his customers. it reminds you so much, and it hits all the nostalgia buttons for a film that you never thought you would ever revisit.
Oh man, I
It
always
is-
revisit the Karate
It is
Kid,
one of
even
the
though they're
best
terrible.
seasons I've watched this year. Now, don't get me wrong, it is also very stupid and very rushed.
Who doesn't walk around singing "You're the best" in your head?
It's on my gym
yeah.
playlist
I
every
see.
day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Granted, quite a few of the episodes, like the first 3 or 4 episodes, have flashbacks to the first film and reuse the footage quite a bit.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I was also...
23 minutes.
You get to the point where you're like, oh, they're doing it again. But, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So we're going for season 2? You're wanting a
Hell
season 2?
Yeah, it's already being done.
Yes.
Oh, if they go to Japan and save a village, then I'm out.
Still can have it, mate.
No, there's plenty of plot threads set up in the location that they're at to keep going for at least another 2 seasons.
Oh my god, mate!
Yeah.
When Mr. Miyagi's illegitimate son comes into it and beats the fuck out of the pair
Both
of them.
of
It's
them,
gonna be amazing.
Illegitimate daughter.
Oh, cool.
And the two of them will fight over her.
Good point.
Yeah,
Well done,
see,
man. Yeah, that's a better movie. That's a better movie.
Now, over the last couple of months, I have also binged watched and resat through again because it was a favourite show.
Your whole category's on Pornhub.
Yeah. It actually didn't last very long. Game of Thrones. So close, Ian, close.
Oh, yeah, close.
That's funny because I've been rewatching Spartacus, which is basically the same reason.
Yeah.
It's funny, man.
So much porn.
I kind of, I really highly praised Game of Thrones, but I realised that there was a quality drop-off point, and it was almost immediately after the Red Wedding episode.
Oh, right. Okay. How far are you in at the moment?
Do you think it was just too much to follow? How do you follow that?
I don't think... I think...
In shock
from what I've gathered and from what I've seen of the books as well, is that there are certain character arcs that just feel wasted. Like the whole setup in Dawn, where, it was just like a really cheap set. You didn't really spend any time there. There could have been a whole myriad of things going on there.
That's
your
rushed. Problem. It's the same problem that suffered onto The Walking Dead, is that they're following this main story arc.
Yeah.
And everything around it is to keep that main story arc looking interesting, but you're not really focusing on that.
It's the fact that they started to create scenes for the actors that they liked and rushed scenes for actors that they, the stories they just wanted to tie it up. I was really disappointed after rewatching all the way through again. I really liked the character of Stannis. He's not a very good person, but he's a fantastic character who goes through a massive arc, and then in his final season, it's just like, what the fuck was that? Sitting through the whole lot to that.
Payoff.
There's no great payoff to it. No, it's just.
There's no great payoff.
I mean, granted, he might. Well, yeah.
Well, it's all about the chick with the dragons, right?
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
And Jon Snow, yeah.
I stopped watching it after a couple of seasons because, again, I didn't think that there were any. For me, there was just too much of this is going nowhere.
Man, as soon as I saw Sean Bean in the first episode, I was like, he's dead. He's dead, and
you were getting out of this.
Yeah, so why should I watch it? I know you're gonna die. You can't get behind any characters.
Spoilers.
Well, you still can, and I still do.
No, you
and
can't.
I still am waiting for its final season.
I'm telling you, I've never watched past season 1. Arya is going to be the only survivor. She's going to murder everybody after everything is dead.
She might already be dead, and it might be an impersonator.
Exactly. Everything will be dead, and then you'll see Frodo come along and be like,
wrong place.
Where am I
Close enough.
So, recent games I've been playing.
Yes.
Dark Souls Remastered, Ian. I think by the time this podcast goes up, we might have actually done a video.
Why do you hate your controllers?
I haven't thrown my controller once playing it.
Actually,
not since playing this one.
I've platinumed all 3 Dark Souls games. I played 2 and 3 through cooperatively with Nella, and he never played the first one. And I mentioned how
awesome
taxing it could be getting into co-op play in the original game. But he played it and got 3/4 of the way through the game on his own.
It's an amazing
And before Dark Souls 3 came out, and he came and started playing that one, and he worked backwards, 3 to then to 1. But then 1 got remastered, re-released, and they incorporated the matchmaking system from 3, which just made co-op play really easy and so smooth. It's almost instant. And now a couple of other friends from PlayStation playing the Bloodborns have gone, oh, you've got it on PC, I'll get Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Jolly cooperation all the way.
Until they start dying, and you're like, for fuck's sake, stop dying.
We'll probably say it in the review on when we do a recording, is that they literally only just ported or made graphically better, but just ported the original release of Dark Souls, all the bugs in all.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
When a creature has a massive spear and swings the spear at a pillar, It will go through the pillar and hit
you, and it'll still make the chain noise like it hit the pillar.
So you can't use the pillar
But not
as
only
cover.
that,
you've got to get in there and fucking beat the shit out of it.
Cheaters and hackers were also able to exploit the game like they did on day one of original release. And you're like, this has been like 7 years ago this problem was fixed. Why am I dealing with this problem again?
People have got like 50 billion health.
I was playing through with Liam and Nella. The three of us, we just reached a difficult area.
Yeah.
And this character just came in, hit a firebomb on the floor, which insta-kill all three of us. But it also cursed all three of us, and also put the parasite heads on. This is near the beginning of the game.
This is like
there's no chance of getting curse taken off you, and if you do, it costs 6,000 souls, which early stage of the game is like 3 level ups.
Fucking hell.
You know, and on top of that, you got the parasite head on you, which you can't get rid of until halfway through the game, really.
Wow.
And so we were just totally stitched up.
It just reminds me of the
Totally
South Park
stitched up.
World of Warcraft episode. He just fucking turns up and insta-kills us.
Yeah.
Man, people leave
Fucking
messages.
dick.
They
The
leave
thing is-
messages.
Modders built and released a script that you could run with Dark Souls, which prevented hackers from cheating whilst invading you. But that only works with the original release. It's not compatible with the remaster, so there's no way to protect yourself from
live through it
assholes.
again.
So you just have to grin and bear it.
I played through Dark Souls, and I remember the first time I completed it on my own, I turned the multiplayer off.
Yeah.
So nobody could invade me.
Yeah, it's fine.
That
It
makes
isn't.
sense.
It's
Because
fine.
by the time I'd got to it, people had
I think
already
you
gone
miss out.
through.
I think
Well,
you really miss out
I
on
did-
some of the flavour of the game.
I was happy to complete it without people invading, because people had been playing it for so long before I got to it. They were nails. So
They
when
knew
I
the
did
game.
go online with my new game 1, I was going up against a new game 6. You know, I'm bowing, you know, because that's the etiquette in the game, and he's like waving, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's have a good old jolly. He pulls out a lightning spear and sends me halfway across the map. I'm fucking almost dead. And he runs up and punches me. And that's it, I'm dead, and I've just lost 50,000 souls because I've been fucking saving, the little bastard. So don't you talk to me about playing it online.
Yeah, I enjoy playing it online. I welcome invaders. I welcome the challenge of fighting. And I am also one to join a covenant and go invade other players.
Yeah, but you also like Hellraiser Judgment. So, you know, you're a glutton for punishment.
Like is a strong word. So Ian, anything you want to catch us up with?
Oh,
You've been
man.
playing, watching?
Well, I mean, what have I been doing? Working, editing. I started Final Fantasy VI.
Okay, very good.
One of the best Final Fantasies
Fuck
out
yes.
there. I did Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, who didn't? At
Who
this point?
didn't do Final Fantasy VII? And when I got my arcade Xbox, I been playing stuff on the SNES, and one of the games I played was Earthbound and Chrono Trigger.
You've been itching for another RPG.
I've
for
been
months.
itching
Chrono
for a
Trigger,
new
I've got that on the
RPG.
DS, so I can play it on the toilet.
You
Very
know,
The best.
I was contemplating starting Skyrim again. You know, I want to develop a character, so I've been trying to dip in and out. So I started playing Final Fantasy
I'll still
VI.
do that. I'll still load Skyrim up now and again and just
Yeah, but
fight a dragon.
it hasn't got an ending, and I get too deep into it. You know, I get
Well, it
too-
does. It's just like all most Bethesda games. The ending is just duff.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is why I was wandering around to do all the other stuff because I didn't give a shit about this.
Yeah.
See, I forgot how taxing actually Final Fantasy VI is. Like, I've got to this opera house, so I had to read this whole script, remember what it was, so then I go into a cut sequence, choose
got
the
to play
right
the script.
directions
Yeah,
to
the
play the
opera.
script.
Remember when we had to figure out puzzles in games
While this is happening,
rather than just quick time it?
this weird creature wants to drop a weight on my character's head, so I've got 5 minutes to run my other team up to him and defeat him. But there's all these rats in the way, and I keep getting caught up while the timer goes down. It's hard to stop.
I can't remember that segment, but
No.
yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Dark Souls at the moment. Dark Souls seems like a walk in the park.
Yeah, that's my stress relief from playing Jurassic Park.
I had to stop. I had to stop playing Doom because I realised I was going back to my dark place.
Your
that?
dark place?
Well, I got to my level 50 on the original playthrough of playing Doom on multiplayer. Unlocked everything, whooped ass. You know, I had a cool kill death ratio I was happy with. Then they reset all the ranks and put out an update which reset me back to 0. So now I'm trying to get myself back to I've stopped trying to go back to number 50
Okay.
because after about 3 or 4 games, I block everything else out, And when you're playing an online first-person shooter and you know the maps,
Yeah.
you are running laps
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
in
of course.
Doom, and you're running around and you're just blasting everything in sight. But I was getting to the point where, I was getting really aggressive when I would die because I shouldn't have died at that point, And when I
interrupted my lap
I'm like, what
on your left, I
what
said.
the fuck? How the fuck did that motherfucker? And Linda's just like, okay, calm down. And I'm just like,
You're playing Doom.
I'm playing Doom, So I had to cut back on
Dylan's
that bit.
cowering in the corner.
What's
Daddy's
wrong with
swearing.
Daddy?
Yeah.
No, that's the problem. Dylan has started playing things like Team Fortress, and he's sounding a lot like his father while playing
Jessica's
video
obsessed
games.
with Trials Evolution.
Oh no.
She's obsessed with that game. But she's like surprisingly good at it. For a 7-year-old especially, I'm like watching her like, she starts playing it, so naturally she goes, where's the accelerator? Bang, and the bike does what the bike's going to do.
Yeah.
And obviously it's got a really good physics engine, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm watching her and I'm just like, yeah, babe, you really need to just tilt the bike out and stuff. And then so I just leave her to it.
Yeah.
Figure she's just going to turn it off and then she's going to get bored of it.
Yeah.
Come back in 30 minutes later or something, and all of a sudden
She's bouncing and
she's
bunny
like,
hopping
if I
across
lean forward, I
platforms.
can go up there. And I'm like, she's close to beating my fucking time, cheeky bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, she's really enjoying that.
Gotta
Do you
let
know what I
them just
did
play
though?
the
Is
new
I,
games.
as soon as I got back from LGT, because I drove back from London
Yeah.
to Plymouth, got back about 11. 2 a.m. I had to get in an airport taxi to go on my holiday up to Bristol to get on a flight.
A very
Yeah.
quick
But
transfer.
the one thing that I made sure I did, because I was like, after all this paint, all the models and playing, is like, I mean, I play a game a week, but I'm like, I do want to play something now. Phantom Pain dropped on Games Will Go, so I was like,
Nice.
that.
Very good.
You played Phantom Pain?
No, not yet. I've got. That's what I mean. I downloaded it.
It's an
Obviously,
amazing game.
I'm still getting back into everything at the minute, but yeah, that's next on the list.
I had to stop
Yeah.
Dylan playing that because he was shooting a lot of people in the face.
I remember.
I restricted him to using just silence weapons.
So, should we move into the news segment?
Yes.
I want to bring up E3. Did either of you catch any of the highlights?
I may have
yeah.
caught one or two games.
I caught a couple of bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly list off
Take
the
me
ones that
home.
caught my... Oh, no.
I'm going to
Yeah.
constantly
Don't
think Country
go.
Roads again because I know how much he loves that song.
We'll jump right to it right now. From Bethesda Game Studios, they annoued Fallout
Country
76 with a particular song.
Great
I
song.
can't believe it was on there. Can't
Fucking
believe it.
Take Me Home Country Road.
Coventry.
You sound like Barber from Super Troopers, like Mr. Goddamn Sunshine on my shoulders, John Denver.
Right.
Goddamn John Denver.
Goddamn fucking John Denver.
See, Fallout 76.
I thought that was last year's song, and it's bled over into this one.
Is it a single player or a multiplayer?
It's both.
Right.
Well, it's what is it? They kind
You
of
can
call
play
it
it
like
all on your
a
own.
diluted version of an MORG, isn't it? You know, where
Yes.
it's like a local multiplayer.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
It is,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, so you can basically
So a bit like Dark
have the
Souls?
Fallout experience where you create your own character, you
Yeah.
level up, you get experience,
Yeah.
you go out as a team and go to locations and scavenge them together and get into other fights. You can also come across other teams of players that are also out scavenging, and you might be like, no, that's my power plant. I'm going to go and fire a nuke at your base encampment. So
But they
get off
do
the
seem
territory.
to have
So
almost
there's-
recognised the fact that they couldn't do a World of Warcraft, whatever you want to call it, MORG, full.
No.
And they,
Don't
at
want
least
that.
they recognised that it's like, because I think the guy did mention, like, we looked at it,
Yeah.
it didn't work. It didn't work Fallout. And I agree with him. I don't think it would. I mean, I've played
Yeah.
all of them
Yeah.
and enjoyed them, you know, and
Yeah,
stuff.
to a
But
point.
yeah, to a point. It is a funny thing. It's like to
Yeah.
a point. You know, everyone always like, why the fuck would you go off and do all this stuff when your main mission is to save your son? It's like, because it's way more fucking interesting.
I still loved Fallout
Like, you know.
3.
Yeah, Fallout 3 was the best one.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I think it's a good choice. I think they've done it
I'm
the
curious.
right way.
I'm
very
looking at
curious.
booking a week off work and getting. I've got a couple of friends also interested in just blitzing it, but at the same time, I'm like, it could be a fucking catastrophe.
Is it out
That
anywhere
is the
near
problem.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's November, I believe.
Yes,
Fallout is
and-
out,
no,
and Red Dead
Red
is
Dead's
first week
October.
of September.
September.
I
And I
think.
probably still
No,
won't give a
it's
fuck
the end of
about.
October, isn't it?
I probably still won't give a fuck about anything else other than Red
Red
Dead
Dead.
Redemption 2.
I have actually already booked a week off the cinema for Red Dead Redemption 2 because I know it's going to be a solid
If you're getting
story.
Red Dead, just get Red Dead and don't buy Fallout 76 until, it's been out for a while. Because
I will be completing Red Dead 2 within that week, Ian. That's
Yeah,
that
it's
week.
true. Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
you
that
will.
week.
You say,
will.
Gary, you say complete. You're going to have, 1,000 points of achievements to get?
Not necessarily, but I would have completed the story.
Bullshit.
I've completed the story.
Bullshit. Hey, you can't, Andy, you smell that? Bullshit.
Because I mean, it's the
You
same
are-
with like
you're an
GTA 5. I
achievement whore.
smashed through GTA 5
Yeah,
story
Once
in
I was
like
done with the story, I played
a
multiplayer
few
for a bit.
days, you know,
Yeah.
just constantly playing it, and then afterwards you're like, right, let's do all the rampages tonight. Whee,
Yeah.
you know,
And then eventually you just lose interest, or another game comes out.
Yeah, but then you got, like I said, we've got Fallout 76. We've got Resident Evil 2 in January.
Yeah,
that sparked my interest.
that's in the question segment, so I bumped that off my E3 list
Right on.
to talk about.
Okay.
But talking about Dark Souls, From Software have announced their next game, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice,
Ooh.
which is coming out on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2019.
What's
The
the game
specific
is?
release date is unconfirmed, but it's an action RPG, just like Dark Souls,
Right, so...
starring a mysterious ninja with a prosthetic arm,
Ooh.
which is a limb which has mechanical importance in gameplay, like reaching on ledges and jumping and sort of platforming, so a little bit faster.
Okay.
Sure, this isn't the new Devil May Cry.
No, it's not that. But they are going to be exploring themes of Sengoku Japan and ninja for the first time in their history of games.
Nice.
Over
I can go
power
for some
level
ninja.
9000.
Yeah.
Sweet.
When is that aimed for release?
It's next year, but no date.
Ah,
yet.
so okay.
So,
I'll get Resident Evil
Rumor
first.
has it may be Q1. So
Yeah, Doom Eternal as well. I gotta get that shit. I want
Yeah.
that shit. I could be going back to my dark place. The dark place.
Halo Infinite.
Yawn.
Yeah, at
Haven't
this
haven't
point,
played one since 4.
really.
Yeah,
I played 5.
Guardians.
Horror
I
Master
took like a
Chief.
2-month break on the last 2 missions, and finally just went back, finished it, and was like, all right.
I was really running out of patience with Bungie literally after 3 even, I think.
Well,
Or
they
it might
left
have been.
after Reach or 3 or
Yeah.
I
somewhere
think
around
it was
there, and then
Reach
it was
because
3
I was sick to death of never getting to play the maps I paid for in the like lobbies. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, well, this is fucking pointless.
Remember
Like,
OTSD?
Mate,
Old
I liked
OTSD.
ODST.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
liked
did,
ODST,
yeah.
you know,
It was
especially as a co-op. I thought
Yeah,
it was
the
really
firefight
good,
modes,
and
yeah.
you know, fucking Horde. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit what they called it. It was Horde.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they burned me with like Mythic. I was like, I spent all the money on like the Mythic packs for like 3, and then
Yeah.
I just never got to play in those things.
Yeah.
And at the time, being an achievement whore, I was like, I can't get any of these achievements
Because you can't
never
play
put
those
me into
maps or
freaking
can't-
maps or
Right.
lobbies.
Yeah.
So yeah, no fucks given on that one. I'm
Gears
afraid.
of War 5?
Gears of
I
War
know the 3 of
5.
us were big gearheads back
Dude,
in the day.
yeah, man.
It
I was-
stopped after 2.
Look,
2 was the best
I-
one.
No, 3 was the
I
highlight.
love 3.
fuck
man,
off.
yeah.
Why
Like,
did
I-
the Queen have a human face?
Yeah, it makes no sense. I've read all the books. You know, I've got the comics. I still have my Marcus Phoenix statue on my hobby desk at home and
Nice,
stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a veteran of the
They
Pendulum
added
Wars,
snow
bitch.
to Gears of
loved-
War.
I love that. But
That's it.
well, the thing, I mean,
And a boat.
the thing is that four storyline wise was just really bad
It was terrible.
because 3 was amazing.
Yeah.
Spoilers, right? Dom dies. And
Yeah.
it's been years, right? But I mean, that was just incredible. The whole story, Marcus's story, and it was amazing. Reading the books that went along with it, that
Yeah.
added to it, was so fantastic as well. And then I didn't mind Judgment because at least it went the other way.
went
and showed
back.
you a
I never
little
played that
story
one.
of Bear.
It was
It
Bear.
was okay. It was
I
like
know, I know.
the multiplayer became a little bit arcadey. You know,
Yeah.
like there was a
That's
lot
what
like.
they're keeping alive, isn't it?
Which was fine. Some people didn't like
Gears
it. I
arcade.
didn't mind it. I didn't think it was as good as 3, but I didn't mind it. You know,
Sure.
some people got really offended by it, and I was like, dude, it's just a slightly different version of Gears. It's fine by me. But
Yeah.
4, I was like excited for, and I've just never been so disappointed in a story ever.
Sure,
It's like
yeah.
it did
It was weak.
nothing.
It was really
nothing happened.
Good set pieces. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I spent half that game fighting fucking robots, and I was like,
Yeah.
why?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I
do you
kind
know
of
what's really
felt
cool
like
about Gears?
I felt
the
like
Gears
they-
and the Locust.
I felt like they rushed the game out to get a Gears game on the next generation
Yeah.
platform
So, 100%.
for its multiplayer.
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they did
I mean,
establish the
you know,
multiplayer.
a buddy of
They
ours,
kept the
Tom, loves
multiplayer
it,
alive.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's
a
on like
massive
his
Gears.
I'm
50th
sure.
re-up
I'm
or
sure I
something,
will
but-
get Gears 5 to play the co-op story through on its hardest difficulty
Did
because
you,
it's a
did
fun.
you
Yeah.
see the trailer as well? I swear that there's a smashed up Land Raider from 40k in the very start of it. You see it.
It
like,
looked
very-
like it. It looked like
It looked
an
like
anime.
Land Raider, didn't it?
It kind
like,
of, but it didn't have
ooh.
las cannons on the side. It didn't have.
Your
las
answer to
cannons on
everything
the
is
side.
last cannons.
I like las
Las
cannons.
cannons.
You need las cannons.
Now there is one thing at E3 that royally upset me. Absolutely devastating to see what has become of Command and Conquer.
Oh, I didn't see this.
There is a game they're releasing called Command and Conquer Rivals, which is a mobile phone game. Yeah.
Well, you'd be able to play.
Devil's advocate though. That makes total sense now. Because of there's so many of them though.
It's just.
I'm not saying I like the idea. I'm just saying it makes sense.
Imagine if it's like War Games with Matthew Broderick on your phone. It's like Skynet. Command and Conquer.
I'll tell you what was good at E3, man, was that Spider-Man game.
Absolutely,
I nearly bought a PS4 on that one.
Yeah, I'm glad I've got one in the house so I can get the game.
Why do people do that?
It looks like what Batman did, for the superhero games.
It's the same shit you guys said when Spider-Man 2 came out on the original Xbox. It's like, look at that web swing.
That was a good game.
Yeah, so was Spider-Man on the Mega Drive. And Spider-Man on the PlayStation.
Spider-Man on the PlayStation was great because the whole plot of that movie is that Doc Ock released this toxin over New York, right?
Yes,
that filled the skyline. So you were on top of all the buildings. Yeah. So what were you webbing onto?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing.
I was
like, the clouds.
I want to know why has no one mentioned that Tony Stark is flying a drone over you that you can just casually latch onto? It's amazing.
Yeah, man. You mentioned Doom Eternal here.
Yes, that's going to be a beauty of a game.
What I also think is going to be a beauty of a game is Metro Exodus, the third game in the Metro series.
I still haven't done the first one.
Wow.
I've not played them, but I've watched a couple of playthroughs, and I'm like, these are good.
They're so damn good. So atmospheric.
I really want to play it on hard, with all the stuff off.
Yeah.
One of the games I watched recently on YouTube, because again, if I get a chance to play it, and I'm interested in the game, I'll watch a few playthroughs on YouTube. And Anguish, that I was really looking forward to. Okay. And I watched a playthrough because you basically play a damn soul in hell.
Right. That's that really gory one with the goat-headed guy.
Well, I mean, you say that, but it's not like.
Well, no, I thought I read some reports of. That was supposed to be this game where you were a damn soul in hell and you were supposed to rip
it has a level where you walk across a giant naked woman.
Yeah, but and that was it. They were saying about
it's all Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, they were saying about how gory it was, and I was like, if you're reporting it, then they're going to have to start toning it back because they won't get a release.
It was
on this.
comedic. It was over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the end of E3. We're going to quickly go into the other news segment. Jumping back into a bit of superhero action as recent casting for Spawn. Yeah. Jamie Foxx has signed a deal to be playing Spawn.
Fuck off.
Apparently, more than 7 years ago, him and McFarlane were discussing a revival for it. But now it is finally going ahead.
What revival?
Do you know what I just watched?
$10 to $12 million budget.
There was never any big hype about it.
I just watched him play Electro. I rewatched Spider-Man the other day. It's so bad.
Shit. I'm going to balance myself over to a dangerous fucking vat of electric eels to plug this thing in.
I call it Spider-Man Too Many Villains.
Yeah.
Too many, yeah. But
that's a good budget,
Jamie Foxx, they're also looking at it being a trilogy if the first one does well enough. That's the way they're writing it.
Bullshit. It's going to be shit.
It's also Blumhouse Studios that's behind it. So they've had quite a few successes with horror films over the last few years.
This is all good stuff, man. This is all good stuff. I'm excited for that.
Also, one of the big things that I do like about it is that they've said in the script that all the scenes with Spawn's dialogue, just taken it out. And there are pages of script that are blank for dialogue. It is, Spawn is this, does this.
Do you remember the animated
series? That people think he is a fucking badass because he doesn't say anything.
Do you remember the
I remember the animated series.
And how gory that was and how dark that was. They aren't going to be able to deliver that on the...
Got me back into animation again was that Spawn series.
Well, I think they're not going to deliver that, dude. Like, everything's gory as fuck these days.
Yeah. It's going to be violent.
Yeah, actually,
it's going to be gory.
That's a good point.
Deadpool 2 is pretty fucking violent and gory.
I think because Deadpool 2 is helped Spawn.
Did you say film or
back,
TV series?
It's a movie, and they're looking at a 3-part movie. So I'm excited for it.
I hope when he burns up, he goes Wanda.
Yeah. And he's John Leguizamo in it as well.
Yeah.
When a demon farts.
Yeah.
When someone farts, a demon gets his wing. Oops, that's a tour.
He stole John Wick's car. That's another thing.
There's no film.
Surprising. Suicide Squad 2 is going into development. Will Smith, Margot Robbie are coming back.
I mean, they're just going to keep fucking beating
they're
this
gonna
dead
keep
fucking
trying.
carcass, aren't they?
I like Captain Boomerang. He was funny. As long as they don't kill him.
Varro from Spartacus.
Well,
they can kill off everybody and just
Kyle Reese
restart
from Terminator Genesis.
Yeah,
I prefer to go Varro.
Yeah, okay.
Harley Quinn.
Next bit of film news is more TV news,
Yeah.
more related Star Trek news. And this has got me, I got super excited. Almost made my day.
Okay.
Partially. It's, there's some drawbacks to it.
Right.
But there were 3 creative showrunners for Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
CBS just sacked 2 of them for gross misconduct in the workplace. Apparently they were bullying the scriptwriters. They have now just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with the final showrunner, which is Alex Kurtzman.
Okay.
And you might remember he worked on Hawaii Five-O in from the start to its current inception.
Oh, shit.
You might like to know that.
Oh, you perked up.
But now,
Man,
now he has just inherited Star Trek going forward, and CBS have said we're looking at launching maybe another 2 Star Trek TV series alongside Discovery and Flood
Star Trek
TV
cross Hawaii Five-O,
with
man.
Star Trek again.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not just looking at full syndicated series; they're also looking at doing mini-series. And Mr. Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, might be returning to Star Trek again to resume the role of Captain Picard.
I don't know, is that a bit much though? Because they've only just gotten past with Discovery. And
Well, they're
Discovery, I
looking at
think, was
opening it
quite
up.
lucky. But if they've just been fired off of that, they got fired off the Discovery team, right?
Yeah, mid-season of season 2. So Alex Kurtzman's taking over the finale
So,
season 2,
either
and then start launching new Star Trek shows.
Either Discovery will fail and they will flourish, or theirs will not get noticed if Discovery... I mean, it's a lot of Star Trek, especially if they're rivalry Star Treks.
The captain.
How's that even possible?
The captain of Discovery should just get in the chair and be like, "This chair smells like Patrick Stewart."
Well, the thing
You got
is,
to see Deadpool too.
with Discovery, because I didn't think it was going to be a season 2 continuing with the Discovery Starship. I thought it was going to be an American Horror Story style anthology relaunch of Star Trek.
No,
where each season was
the
just
whole
a
ship.
different time place.
Isn't the ship called
jumping
Discovery?
through time, looking at different angles or perspectives of events that occurred. But they seem to have dropped that for Discovery and just gone, let's keep this crew season to season to season, even though crew members in this Star Trek series die off during the season and new characters get brought in to take over those roles, which is interesting and different.
Yeah.
But now with the possibility of doing additional Star Trek shows, they can do that in addition. If they do minisodes with the original, the next generation crew, get them all back.
They're going to be competing against each other.
Not really, because all the Star Trek fans are going to be watching the Star Trek whenever it's on. They're not going to put
the
same show on the
it's
same
like,
day.
But they'll be on 2 different shows run by 2 different people, right?
No, they will all be overseen by Alex.
They're trying to build the Blantyverse.
Right.
He will oversee all the shows.
They're trying to build a Star Trek version of the Blantyverse, like with Arrow and Supergirl and all
Yes,
that.
yeah. So it will be the Star Trek universe.
That's what
finally
anyone is trying to do.
expanded. Yes.
But the
'Cause it's
most
happening with Star
important
Wars.
question
Well, they did
out
with
of all of
Stargate.
this is, what was the gross misconduct?
Like I said, bullying their scriptwriters, apparently.
This fucking fell out of Lethal Weapon, didn't it? Now everyone's doing the same thing because they chucked that fucker off that Lethal Weapon suit for the same thing.
Shit.
I reckon more of them
Such
are
a
like...
shit TV
Do you know what I mean?
series.
I think you'll see more of this following suit.
Yeah. But also because Star Trek is exclusive to CBS in America, we have it on Netflix over here.
Yeah.
Networks are looking at holding on to their creative talent because if they let them go and don't renew contracts with them to create shows for them, they'll go to Netflix or to Amazon, who have stolen so many creative people now that these TV studios are going, oh shit, our mistake, let's catch up.
The writer's king now, aren't they?
Yes, finally.
Back in the day, it used to be
they've had so many strikes in order to get to the point where they're at, where it is their imagination that's spawning these directors to make it.
100%.
And of course, you can always comment on the fact that quite a few, even Carpenter himself has said this, that directors in the studio system are just thankful to have a job and will just do what the producers want now.
Yeah.
And that creative freedom is long gone. It was there. So, next bit of film news. Robert Zemeckis is adapting Roald Dahl's The Witches. And is looking to...
The original was badass.
The original was badass, but this version is looking to...
It's only down the road.
Is looking to adapt the book much more accurately than the film that we grew up loving.
I think the book is a little bit darker.
Yeah, dude.
Darker.
Fuck, dude, all that opening stuff that you get... Me and Jessica read it recently. She's got the whole collection of Roald Dahl stuff. And we read The Witches because I wanted to get her to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And so she sat through the movie right up until that. I showed her, because I knew what was coming, I showed her a picture of Angelica Houston with her face off, right?
Yeah.
And we're watching that scene, and I'm trying to get her to kind of like, because it's
Get
fucking
prepped.
scary.
It's scary,
dude.
yeah.
And I'm like, Jessica, look
She
at
is
all the
terrifying.
witches in the front row. And she's like,
Scratching
yeah,
under their
but I'm like,
wigs.
they're men. Look at them, because they were
Yeah.
played by men.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's really funny. And I was like, she's gonna get through this.
Wait, Jane Horrocks isn't a man.
No. All the others. Yeah, all the other witches, she's like, you may remove your wigs and everything like that.
Yeah.
When they took them off and, like you said, they're sat scratching. If you watch that movie, dude, it's fucking men.
that play the
I don't
parts.
To
think
make
all of
them
them
look uglier.
I don't think all of them were men. Some
Other than Jane Horrocks, they pretty much are. Dude.
yeah. Angelica.
So it's like, she's like, oh, that's really funny, ha ha ha, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna get through this. This is gonna be fine. Fucking this happened. She pulls that fucking glass down an eighth of an inch, and kid's like, no.
Yeah.
Click, turn it off. So I'm like, we read the book, and she was fine with the book, but I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, this is way fucking scarier than the movie.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't surprise you that Guillermo del Toro has been looking to make the witches himself for nearly a decade.
How many
And
child deaths is he going to try and fit into
And
that film?
he also
Kids
wanted
getting
to
eaten.
do it all stop motion animation the entire film, but that's not happening now. But he is still going to be an executive producer or producer for the Robert Zemeckis version of it.
Wow.
So I'm just like, yeah, that's going to be really fucking dark.
No, yes, that would be dark.
Take my money.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Next bit of film news is, we'll stop mentioning Star Wars just now, but apparently over the last week or so, everybody's been just saying all the Star Wars spin-off movies have been put on hold. The
Lando.
Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off, the
Yeah.
Boba Fett spin-off.
Han Solo took a hit.
Han Solo took a hit, basically, but it seems to be a case of fake news, as Disney literally in a statement said, no, all these films are still going ahead, including the TV series, plus Rian Johnson's new trilogy of films that are being done by the Game of Thrones writers, and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah.
Stop that machine with one bad fucking result.
Yeah, absolutely, no. It's not going to happen.
People have still bought all the cups and toys and Lego
it
sets.
still made money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't lose anything.
No, absolutely.
It just
Fake
wasn't
news.
fucking.
It was just maybe a case of
seven or
timing,
whatever.
considering it was only 6 months. People using it as an excuse. 6 months after The Last Jedi, which was a divisive film, and maybe they should have waited until this Christmas to release it, considering they're releasing Episode 9 next Christmas,
Yeah.
and kept the Christmas movie thing going.
Well, they wanted to compete, didn't they, just so that the others didn't think that.
Well,
Maybe
they
though,
came
think,
out
look, how
whilst
grateful will we
Infinity
be
War
for
was still
episode
playing.
9 now next Christmas? We're like, we haven't had one in 18 months and it was Solo. I can't wait for episode 9.
Yeah.
People are crying out for a remake of Episode 8 already.
Yeah.
They want Episode 9, they want a remake of Episode 8.
Crazy.
That was the end of the film news. I'm going to jump into trailers, and I've only really got one trailer.
Can I just
listed.
mention one
Yeah.
little bit of news
Yeah,
before
go
I
for it.
forget? It's not film related. But
Yes.
okay, for us, for me and Ian especially, this is real fucking important.
Actually, we've got two. There's the one that actually happened today. What's the date today? It's the 23rd, and this will go up the first weekend of July. Right. So you're going to do Vader, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
who are you
But,
going to
okay,
do?
yeah, granted. So, alright, then, sad news. Big wrestling fans, as you know.
Yeah.
Big Van Vader passed away.
Oh,
It's a massive shame.
Yes.
He weren't
Vader,
even there,
world champion from
and
WWE
one of the
and
best big men
WCW.
of all time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a real shame. He's been in a lot of ill health. It was kind of expected, but still, fucking swig a beer for Vader, man. He was highly underrated.
Yeah.
But I'm going for more of a positive thing.
Oh,
is
okay.
that Triple H finally announced a UK brand of NXT.
Oh, yes.
Which I was really
Wow.
excited for, and then announced where one of the filming locations was gonna be, and it's Plymouth, and I lost my
Yes,
shit.
mate.
And tickets go on sale next
NXT's
week, and I'll
coming
be
to
right
Plymouth.
there, baby.
And mate, this will be the second time it's going
Yeah,
to
me
be.
and
yeah,
Ian
no,
went
we-
to see it the
yeah.
last time that it was down, and as
Yeah.
soon as they were like, NXT's coming back and we're taping it, I was like, you are going to see my ass on the network just screaming. It's-
Yeah.
oh,
That's so cool.
so fucking excited, dude. It's going to be amazing. And it's going to be UK independent talent
Yeah.
mixed in. They'll probably mix in with a few like guys that you know from NXT. They're even
Yeah.
talking about the main roster being involved in NXT
Yes.
now. So
Well, I mean,
I'm buzzing, dude. I can't wait.
That's going to be a lot of flying for those wrestlers.
the last time I went to see NXT in Plymouth
Me and you
Pavilions,
went,
right? I
yeah.
saw Shinsuke Nakamura, fucking
Finn
Bobby
Balor,
Roode, Finn
Samoa
Balor,
Joe.
Samoa Joe, Austin Aries. I'm seeing them in Plymouth.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd ever see these guys. I always hoped as well that, I might be able to go to the toilet, and it just happened to bump into Triple H, who's just taking a piss, having a piss, and turn over, and he's like, Why?
Tell me that you wouldn't look at him and go, fuck it. Dude, that's funny because on the day that it was filming on, like the Friday, I got out of work early and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, I'm going to the gym because they might be using
Yeah,
you think
yeah,
it's,
gym,
I go to a gym that's a national chain, so it makes sense that they would have national memberships that they would probably use. So I was like walking around the gym with a couple of really light weights, just casually like, what's going on? We know. Like,
that would be so cool.
I'm walking around yelling too sweet and shit like this, trying to like. What was the other bit?
The other bit of news that happened that I heard just today is I can't remember the guy's name. You'll be able to help me. Dimebag Darrell's brother from Pantera.
Drummer, yeah. Is it Vinnie Paul? Something like that?
Yeah, just passed away.
Just lost my metal card.
Damn.
Yeah,
one of the founding members of Pantera.
Yeah.
I was just like, ouch, on the day of the podcast, I was, like a week before we start recording, Vader passes.
Yeah.
And then one legendary rock figure passes. I'm like, okay, gotta give them a shout out.
But
for sure,
Bruce
always,
Campbell did turn 60.
Yes,
so
yes, Bruce Campbell, happy
Was
birthday,
it
Bruce
today,
Campbell.
isn't it? Day of recording?
No,
was it yesterday?
Yesterday. Well,
Yes.
future past tense.
Yeah,
it's around about this time. Happy birthday, Bruce Campbell.
Happy birthday.
I was just drinking them.
Yes, we were drinking.
That was just actually drinking.
So
Trailers, yes.
Yes, now, Andy, you and I have been hyping this film up since the new year.
We had such a moment.
And it looks like we've still got another 6 months to go until the film comes out. And that is Creed 2.
Still need to see
Creed
the first one.
I, come on.
Yes, now this is that. How many of numbered film in the Rocky franchise?
9. Is
Eight.
this 8?
This is the 8th
Rocky
film.
1 to 5, Rocky Balboa.
Yeah,
So
6.
6, then Creed 7, Creed 2 is 8.
Yeah. And I just can't wait. We've said it before. The Rocky series of films. Grew up watching them all.
No, there's more because Rocky 5 plus Rocky 2 equals Rocky
Get the
7.
fuck out.
Adrian's
Revenge. Rocky V.
And we mentioned the story for the film in the previous podcast, and
He's taking on Drago's son, isn't
Creed is fighting Drago's son. Of course, Creed died in the ring fighting Drago.
Apollo Creed, yeah.
Apollo Creed, yes.
Fighting
And so now
Ivan
he's
Drago.
avenging his father.
Oh,
But,
Man,
yeah.
I've just had a flash. I know how the film's going to end.
Shut up.
No, seriously.
Dumb.
Seriously, right. So the whole film's going to have its own storyline between the two of them. They're going to have this almighty epic battle, right? And it's going to be like the father and the surrogate father.
I know where he's going to go
on each corner.
No, I know where he's going to go with this. Go on.
Right? At the end of the fight, right, whoever wins, I'm not going to say, credits will come up, but it will be Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone. They'll be stood in the ring. They'll be talking about how they stood in the light and how they enjoyed their time there. And one of them will go, I bet you I can still take you. Or I bet you can. And they'll just start squaring up. And while the credits is going up,
yeah,
they'll just be having.
They'll become friends.
They'll just have little swings.
It's going to be basically, it will come to the end of the 12th round and neither boxer will be able to continue and the ref will wave it off and go, neither boxer are continuing. They'll both be like, hold my fucking beer. Get out of their corners and we're on, no.
Put their own fists under their arms as they're unconscious and just start swinging like puppets.
What, use them like rock and sock robots? No, but what a fucking trailer, man. It was great.
Was a really good
trailer. It was like an extended teaser, I would say.
Yes, yeah.
What's his name? Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Creed, yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Killmonger.
He was Killmonger. I fucking loved him as Killmonger.
Yeah, he was really
and
good.
I really want to see him as Creed, and I really want to watch Creed 2.
You haven't seen Creed 1, have you?
I haven't seen Creed 1.
Dude,
and
it's so good.
I know, but...
Did you like Balboa? Did you like Rocky
Yeah,
Balboa?
I did. I love all the Rocky movies.
It's the same tone as Balboa
Exactly.
to me. It's like it follows on... how beautifully written
But
Balboa was. It follows on perfectly.
I just haven't had the chance to sit down. Nobody's gone, hey, here's Creed, sit down and watch it. And I haven't had the chance to sit down and properly watch it at any point. But the fact that I didn't see him in that, everyone said he was really, really good. Then I went and watched Black Panther and saw him as Killmonger and really liked him as Killmonger.
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
My wife hates
I know
him as
Creed's
Killmonger.
good.
She calls him shaky neck guy. Like, why does he have to walk into a room like this, constantly shaking his head? And
why
I'm
has he
just
got
like,
a pineapple on his
I'm
head?
like, I don't know what to do with that. But no, dude, it was. I literally came in and said to Gary, I was like, "Are we watching a trailer?" He's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Is it?" And he's just like, "Creed 2." I was like, "Thank God," because it dropped the other day, and a friend of mine in work was like, "Dude, Creed 2 trailer." I was like, "No." I guarantee you, Gary's gonna make me watch it on Saturday.
Yeah,
So I was like,
the only
hell
trailer. It's the only one.
See, I want to talk about another trailer. I saw it, Hereditary.
Okay, well the film's out now, yeah.
Yeah, I wikied it.
No. Okay, so did you watch the trailer?
I watched the trailer.
Not really close.
Thought it was Did you wiki it? You watched it? Oh, mate. Oh,
Man, I have-
look at that face.
I have witnessed at least 10 audiences coming out of the cinema from that film.
Yeah.
At least 4 people left within 10 minutes before the end of the film.
Yeah.
Tears streaming
Yeah.
down their faces
Yes.
because they couldn't contain their laughter. They were just in hysterics, laughing at the stupidity of the film.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
and because they
All
were
I'll
laughing
say-
so loud, they left the screen.
Because it's so close, I don't want to say anything about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to.
What did you think? Was it stupid?
All right, yeah. First
Hellraiser
of all,
Judgment
no, but
Day.
first of all, right, that trailer is no. That
Doesn't
trailer
give anything.
doesn't take you anywhere near
No,
that movie
no way,
at all, right?
no way.
I will say this positive for it. They built that fucking house as an entire set, and it gives them the chance to do some really interesting things with cinematography.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
If
Camera
you
work.
watch it from that point of view, I think a lot of people will be very
And that's what
pleased
I was
with it
seeing.
and stuff
Okay.
like that.
You know,
It's a fucking stupid movie.
the whole plot line is
I'm
makes
kind
no
of just giving
sense.
the whole
And
film a
there's
hard
no,
pass. I'm
I
just not that.
personally don't think there's much of a payoff.
Yeah.
No.
Either. I don't think a lot of people.
Was Gabriel Byrne any good in it?
They were surprised to see his
do you know
name in
what? He
it.
was, and again, I don't want to go spoilers, but he's almost like just
A ghost, almost?
because he's the level-headed character. It's not so much like I think they try to present him as
Was
like he's the level-headed guy who's trying to hold it all together, but he's just like the guy who's like could give 2 fucks
Is he-
about all the shit that's
Is
happening.
he like?
to me.
Is he the same character he was in End of Days?
What, the devil?
Yeah.
No. No, because
The way he just walks in and cups his boob.
grabs a tit and just like looks at a dude like do something like you know.
Kaiser Soze! Kaiser Soze! Could be worse.
That would have been such a better ending. Yeah.
Well,
it's,
speaking of endings,
yeah,
we're going to bring this part of the
play.
podcast to a close. But we'll be back with part 2, talking about John Carpenter
Oh yeah.
and Kurt
Motherfucking
motherfucking Russell.
Russell.
I might
Yeah,
have
you've got
something
5
to say.
minutes to do your
Yeah,
homework.
I'll go get Wikipedia on. Give me Wikipedia.
Which brings us on to part 2 of the podcast.
Yes.
And to start things off, I thought we'd bring up Kurt Russell. Yeah, a bit of trivia for you. Do you know Kurt motherfucking Russell's actual middle name?
Wait, it's not motherfucking.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's motherfucking.
I mean that sounds much better, but his middle name was actually Vogel.
Vogel.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was born.
Vogeldorn.
I was gonna say, yeah, Vogel Dorn.
He was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, and he is of English, German, and Scottish and Irish descent.
That's why he's fucking awesome.
That's why he's a living
That's why
planet.
he's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
His first roles were as a child on television series, including a lead role on the Western series The Travels of Jamie McFeeters from 1963.
McFetus.
And yeah, I didn't realise that Russell was a child actor who literally
yeah, man.
survived growing up in, to an adult actor without all of the
Hey,
horror
in
stories.
2018, you have to say survived Hollywood in the
Yes,
60s.
he survived Hollywood.
He has survived Hollywood.
He landed the role in the Elvis Presley movie It Happened at the World's Fair in 1963 when he was 11 years old.
Wow.
Walt Disney himself signed Kurt Russell to a 10-year contract.
Yeah.
And according to Robert Osborne, he became the studio's top star of the 1970s,
Yeah.
having voiced Copper in the animated Disney
Fox
film
and the Hound.
The
Yeah.
Fox and the Hound, 1981. Russell is one of the few famous child actors, who was able to survive his teen years.
Was Fox and the Hound 1981?
1981, yeah.
Wow,
It's
same
between.
same year as Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe has been together with Goldie Hawn for quite some time now.
Russell Crowe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I thought you said Russ.
I
Stop
was
for a
like,
minute.
what? Kurt
I've been
Russell.
Wait, does
Kurt
Kurt
Russell.
Russell know?
Oh dear.
We did a review with somebody recently, and they purposely messaged me and said, "I'm doing a lot of research on Ken Russell." I'm like, "Who's Ken Russell?" They were like, "Oh shit!" They just read Kurt Russell wrong.
Oops.
Yes, Kurt Russell, Gary, not
Yeah,
Russell
Kurt
Crowe.
Russell.
Goldie Hawn. Yeah, how long's he been with her?
Decades now, but they never got married.
Wow.
There's a lesson there. It's worked.
It's because he's a living planet.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps disappearing off for his film career, because he's going around the universe and mating with other. If you like pina coladas.
Well, Kurt Russell
Stood on top
himself,
of spaceships waving.
he has 2 sons in his previous marriage. And
Chris Pratt is one of them.
Yep.
Yeah. And he also raised Goldie Hawn's children, which is Oliver Hudson and Kate Hudson,
Yes.
who both consider him their father.
Oh, fucking lucky bastard. He's got Kate Hudson as a daughter and she's got Kurt Russell as a dad.
Yeah, win-win.
Fuck.
But I didn't
Too much
realise
happy
this.
there.
Yeah.
But Kurt Russell is also an FAA licensed private pilot holding single multi-engine in instrument ratings. He's also an honorary board member of the Humanitarian Aviation
You
Organisation.
can totally race John Travolta.
Yes, I was just thinking the same thing. Him and John Travolta have probably been, flying together for a while.
But Kurt Russell has never won an Academy Award for any of his films.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't really. Oh,
No.
he should have won one for fucking
Backdraft.
Hateful Eight. Backdraft was a
Backdraft,
good one.
yeah.
Fucking Hateful Eight, you should have won all the awards. I
Yes,
love
yeah,
that movie.
that was great.
Backdraft was a good one. He should have won one
It's
for
like the
Soldier.
best Western remake of the thing ever.
Yeah. Captain Ron.
It's a bunch of people in a room in the snow that don't trust each other and start killing each other. Sound familiar?
But just to tie that in of not winning any Oscars, to also relate to John Howard Carpenter,
Yeah.
who also never received an Academy Award for any of his films. I mean, technically, that is true, but we'll get into that in a second. But John Carpenter was born in New York. He attended Western Kentucky University, and he also attended UCS Film School in LA.
Some might say that he escaped from New York.
Indeed,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, that was good.
He
yes.
began making short films in 1962. He collaborated and produced...
Dark Star with Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh,
Yep.
that fucking movie,
He
man.
was
I love
also a
Dark
film
Star.
editor and music composer for the film Resurrection of Bronco Billy in 1970, which did win an Academy Award for Best Live-Action Short Film.
Billy.
The short film was enlarged to 35mm and 60 prints were made, and the film was released theatrically by Universal Studios. For 2 years in the United States and Canada, John Carpenter from there just went on to make a legacy of cult films that all never financially worked on their release. He retired soon after Ghosts of Mars. Yeah, on May 23rd, 2016, it was announced that Carpenter would act as executive producer on a new film, the Halloween film series.
Well, he did The Ward.
Oh, he also did The Ward. He came
Ward
out
as well.
Yeah,
Which I watched recently, which was really good.
I think he
It was
also
like
did
a,
a couple
it was like a
episodes.
fucking double punch of Ghosts of Mars and Vampires. Didn't do well either, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man, Vampires is fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, I love that fucking movie.
Vampires
The
is
facts are
fucking
facts.
awesome.
It didn't do well.
Getting the mahogany.
Yeah.
James Woods.
But I did also list down some of what I felt was some of Carpenter's best ever words of wisdom. So I'm just going to read some of them out.
Okay.
Preach.
The biggest lesson that I learned from film school was to try to get and maintain, if possible, final cut. Creative control is the
Yes.
essence of having the ability to make your own movie and not someone else's. He also said, I got to work within the studio system and make all those movies the way I wanted them, and I'm very proud of that. It was a fight, though, because the studios don't ever want to give control to the filmmakers. It's all changed now, and a lot of directors today are just there to have a job.
Yes.
But at the beginning, I was doing the music out of necessity because we had no money.
Yeah.
At some point, I realised that the scores became another voice, another way I could further what I was doing as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
It became an extension of directing. Composing was a lot of extra work, but I kept going as long as I could stand it. Kind of like directing. I've never had any illusions about my musical abilities. I've got very basic musical chops. That's okay. I've probably stretched them as far as I could possibly go.
Yeah. There's only so far you can put an electro synthesized keyboard,
yeah.
and play
To
the
a
same
film.
two beats.
And he also said, I take every failure hard. The one I took the hardest was The Thing. My career would have been so different if that one film had been a big hit. The movie was hated on its release. Not
Because it
only
went
did it
up
not do well,
against
it
E.T..
was hated. Even by science fiction fans, they hated it.
They didn't understand it.
They thought that I had betrayed some kind of trust.
Yeah.
And the piling on was insane. Even the original movie's director, Christian Nyby, was dissing me. So, John Carpenter
Craziest
took
fans in retrospect to think back to
His fans-
that's what happened to The Thing.
His fans were born 20 years after his
totally
films came
they
out.
were, man. You're absolutely right.
It's...
this
absolutely
this
right.
is it. I mean, I remember my first John Carpenter experience was when I was 11 years old. My mum had gone out. I was home alone. And we had 4 channels on TV over here.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's how
BBC,
old I'm going back.
BBC2, ITV, and
Channel 4, right? And I was searching through for something to watch. And I came across this thing on BBC Two where this guy was doing a review of Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Which was coming on next. I didn't realise this. He stood underneath, I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge, which is the last bridge that the Duke and Snake all drive over. And he's doing this whole spiel about John Carpenter. This guy I'd never heard about before.
Yeah.
You know, and about how he had this eye and he's created this vision of Manhattan being a prison. And I'm just sat there, 11 years old, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All I've got is Nintendo and I'm sick and tired of losing against fucking Super Mario Brothers. So I'm going to watch whatever's on next. Then that music starts up. Mm-hmm. And the film played. And luckily enough, it's the first time I ever got introduced to Kurt motherfucking Russell.
So it was a double whammy for you.
Double whammy right there. That, you know how back in the day, when we were all living together, back in our early 20s, like, I think Andy was like, you haven't seen Transformers the movie? And Gary was like, you've never seen Flight of Dragons?
The animated, by the way.
The animated. That's how old I'm going back.
Yeah.
You've never seen the animated Transformers movie? You've never seen Flight of Dragons? And I was just like, well, no, because instead I was watching John Carpenter movies. I was watching Halloween. I was watching They Live. I was watching The Fog. If I could get my hands on it, if it was on TV, I had to watch it. Anything by a guy called John Carpenter.
Yeah.
It was just,
well, shall we begin this part of the podcast by giving our top 5 John Carpenter and top 5 Kurt Russell movies, and then any ones we don't mention, we can go over.
You go right ahead. Start knocking some out there. I can talk about some John Carpenter movies.
Okay, we'll start with Carpenter.
Okay.
Shall I go?
Yeah, you go.
Go for it, man.
Okay, yeah. So I've put my list as my personal favourites, not what I think is the best.
Right.
Okay, but that's how I would consider my top 5. And starting with number 5, it will be They Live.
Yeah.
They Live is just it came out in 1988. You know, I discovered this film after playing Duke Nukem.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love the whole setup that when he realises that the aliens have taken over and all of the messages that are just hidden when he puts those glasses on.
Oh, Rowdy
as cheaply
Roddy
as it's done.
Piper.
Plus Roddy Piper, yeah.
He's written for that role. The whole opening sequence where he stood on the train track.
Yeah.
And the music starts up.
Yeah.
You know, if you
He's Joe Everyman.
He is Joe
literally Joe
Everyman.
Everyman.
And if you've been watching many John Carpenter movies, this guy is the hero because he's usually the first guy you see.
Yeah.
You know? Then the whole stuff with Keith David.
Yeah.
The whole glasses.
The longest fight
Yes,
the fight sequence is just. It's brilliant.
still enjoy
He
watching
had,
it.
he had matches that were shorter than that.
The
Like,
thumps on the floor when he backdrops him onto the concrete, you feel it, you know, because John Carpenter's there with the camera, recording all this, and then the whole stuff with the aliens. I mean, the message he's trying to portray.
Oh, the political message to They Live still rings through. It's kind of like almost come back around again.
How many of his films don't have a political message?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, man.
But the reason why, that's one of the reasons why They Live is there is because of that political message. I mean, it hits you over the head with it, but it was one of those. It was a wake up call. It was like, oh yeah,
it's fucking Evil Lynn as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those eyes. She's an evil bitch. Spoilers.
So yeah, number 5, They Live. Number 4, In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah.
Now it's
ironically, this is my number 1.
Wow, that's cool. Came out in 1995, so it was a whole 10 years after They Live.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm a massive fan of Sam Neill. I discovered this film after Jurassic Park.
Yeah, so did I.
Wasn't this just after Jurassic Park? Did he do this just after?
Just before.
No, he did In the Mouth after. He did
after,
Dead Calm before he did Jurassic Park.
That's right, yeah.
That's where I
So
first
this
saw
was
him.
just after Jurassic Park?
Yes.
So people knew
Sam
who Sam Neill was?
Yeah, it's got a good lineup as well. Charlton Heston's in it as well. What's his...
Small role.
Vigo
from
he's
Ghostbusters.
like the head of the.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's the head of the agency, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's Jurgen Klerkson, man? Jurgen Klerkson.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop
From
2
Death
villain.
Yeah, that's both.
It just has some. It just has. I mean, I'll reserve it for when. If it's your number 1, we'll give it more time when we get to yours as number 1.
Did I ever tell you my favorite color is blue?
Yeah. Oh, it's so creepy, dude.
Number 3, Big Trouble in Little China.
I get to tell this. I get to get you on the podcast.
Oh,
my
fuck, yeah,
time,
dude.
my
Your
time has come. You're gonna get roasted here, man.
No, go for
Can
it,
I
dude.
tell him the Dennis Dunn
Fuck
story?
yeah, dude. I was so fucking smashed at the time. It was just
Andy and I, when we
Wow.
were younger, we must have been about 18, 19.
Easily something
We were
like that,
looking
yeah.
after a friend's house. We'd gone out, we'd had a few drinks, and we're coming back, and somehow
is pushing it.
we've gotten onto the conversation about Big Trouble in Little China, about how awesome it is. And Andy turns to me and goes, "Yeah, I really love Jet Li in that movie."
Oh dear.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
totally.
"It's not Jet Li," and he's like, "Yes, it is." And I'm like, "No, it's not." And we argued all the way
Oh, dude,
through
I was
the
fucking
text.
adamant. I was like, it's fucking Jet Li, dude. It's fucking Jet Li. Look at it. Who else looks like that? It's fucking Jet Li.
Argued in the taxi all the way home. And this is at the kind of the birth of the internet. You only really had the internet.
Yeah,
if
we
you
couldn't
owned a
settle
PC.
this argument fast.
You didn't have
a mobile
phones?
phone to just look it up.
So I phoned up an old school friend that I hadn't spoken to in ages. It's like 3:00 in the morning. I wake him up. I get him to look online and find out what the actor's name is. And he rings me back about 10 minutes later. He's like,
Dennis Dunn.
"It's Dennis Dunn." I'm like, "It's Dennis Dunn." He's like, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, fucking Jet Li. Who the fuck?
So smashed. There's no excuse.
That movie.
I genuinely thought it was Jet Li.
How many times did you see it before you realised Dennis Dunn was supposed to be the hero?
Several. Because, I'd not seen Prince of Darkness. I'd not seen Dennis Dunn in anything else.
Russell.
And it was because it was Kurt Russell.
Well,
you think's the hero.
There was no internet release,
He's
was
literally
there?
channeling John Wayne in that movie, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's clearly the hero.
I mean, because
Yeah.
obviously Carpenter wrote it for Dennis Dunn to be the hero,
Yeah.
and then the studio shoehorned in the hero, so he gets in Kurt Russell and pulls off a brilliant part as Jack Burton. And it isn't until years later, when obviously we have the release of the internet and every little dirty secret gets aired, that we're like, shit. You look back at the film, and Kurt Russell. I'd watched that film at least 4 or 5 times and thought he was the biggest hero ever. Then realised Dennis Dunn was supposed to be the good guy, and realised how much of an idiot Jack Burton really is.
Jack Burton's a
that
total
final fight, he
idiot.
knocks himself out, and Dennis Dunn
Yeah.
does all the heavy lifting.
I
Yeah, he
did
shoots
not.
the rocks.
Yeah.
He shoots the platform
I
above
did
him.
not
yeah.
realise that
Do
though.
I still owe you money on that Dennis Dunn bet?
Probably.
I take it.
But the thing is,
guess what?
Burton,
The check is in the mail.
Jack Burton has the best
Walked
lines
into
in
that
the
one.
film.
Walked into that one.
Absolutely,
Well, that
he's
will.
the quotable character. He's the one who has the charm that carries the film because he's
using
just
like an ancient form of podcasting in that
Yeah.
movie
he's
on the old CB radio.
he's
as well,
an
dude.
outsider throughout the film, and so everything's getting explained to him, thus you, the audience, and so it does work.
You know, there's still something I don't understand about that movie. Not that Jet Li wasn't in it. But why didn't the bottle break?
Because he was destined not to have the bottle break, so he'd not get the money, so he would have to go to the airport and be involved with the two green-eyed girls.
Why?
did the
Why
bottle not
Jack's
break?
bottle? He purposely says, he's like, this knife cuts this bottle in half. He's like, not that bottle, this bottle. And he's all smug about it, and it totally works.
It's because
and
it's
I'm
Jack
like,
Burton.
why though?
It's a Jack Burton.
It's
pub
like the
trick.
dad-
Jack Burton touched the bottle.
He was supposed to be there. Yeah.
I buy that. I'm just asking.
Because it's Jack Burton. It's all in the reflexes.
It is all
Yeah,
in the
It's
reflex.
all in the reflexes.
So yeah, Big Trouble in Little China, my number 3. My number 2, John Carpenter film.
Yeah.
And these two sometimes swap places. Well, actually, the top 3 swap places sometimes.
Yeah.
But number 2 is Christine
I figured you. Why did I not think it?
from
was coming?
1983.
I know,
the
I
year I
knew
was
it'd be in
born.
his list, definitely.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely in there. If he could have sex with a car, that would be the car he'd have
If he
sex
was going
with.
to tongue a gas hole.
That's it. For the next couple of minutes, he's not even going to get a word in. I'm going to tell the people how much he would just be all over that car. It's not
That car would be all over me.
The film.
Even when it was on fire?
Yeah.
He doesn't even need. You would watch that film while sat in the car, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And you would just shine a white light on your face with 50s music playing.
Oh
and
no!
you'd just be sat there like-
I would have the 50s music. I'd also have the John
You're
Carpenter
mine.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
I could play, and I would have the speakers on the outside of the car. People would hear me
the
coming.
doors would be automatic.
Yeah.
People are like, is this a political statement? I don't understand what he's doing.
Oh man, yeah.
He's in there like, that's right.
Now, I literally just the other week discovered this video, and just one of the best John Carpenter shot videos because he directed the music video.
Yeah.
And they released John Carpenter because he rewrote the soundtrack or just re-released Christine soundtrack as part of his film collection.
Anthology, yeah.
And they've been making short music videos for these songs.
Okay.
And it's a 4-minute video that's on YouTube now. You can watch it. And basically this girl steps out in the middle of the night, her car's broken down, and Christine appears at the end of the road.
Wow.
All done with just the music. The car revs up its engine like it does, and it kind of rushes right at her. She runs into a dead end. The car chases her in, comes right at her and swerves right beside her, and then the door opens, and John Carpenter sat behind the wheel.
Glorious.
And he just beckons her to get in the car. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. I just got my John Carpenter fix, and I just got my Christine fix with with him redoing the soundtrack for the film.
Love it.
If death could come for me, that'd probably be
It would be John Carpenter behind the wheel of Christine. Just fucking orgasmic.
I'm ready to go now. I've seen everything I need to see in life.
Yeah. So that was just perfect.
Nice.
So it should come as no surprise whatsoever. We mentioned it in your top 5 John Carpenter movies video we did years ago.
What is it? Is it Black Moon Rising?
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's not your favorite John Carpenter movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's the thing. John Carpenter's the thing.
Wait. What was number 2? Christine.
Christine.
Was it? I thought that was 3. Okay, sorry.
No, 3 is Big Trouble.
Yeah, sorry.
It has to be The Thing.
Clearly.
You know, The Thing is not only just my favourite John Carpenter film, it is sometimes
What
my
is it
favourite
about that
sci-fi
film?
film, it is my favourite horror film.
It's just majestic to watch. I can
Every time. It never gets old rewatching it.
I'm
I'll never
only
get
thinking
bored
about it
watching that
right.
movie.
I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm getting just goosebumps.
Yeah, man.
As soon as you recall the movie, you replay back the scenes in your head.
That's the first John Carpenter movie I ever saw.
Yeah.
And I stumbled into it in the same way that you stumbled into Escape from New York, where I turned the TV on and I'm like, why is this asshole shooting this dog? And then you realise at the end, like, probably
That's
a
not
good thing
dog.
that asshole would have shot that dog.
That's imitation.
It's interesting though that you say, like, it's another movie where they show the hero in the very first shot, because technically that Norwegian dude
was the hero, yeah.
like,
Trying to
Well,
shoot the dog.
Technically. I mean, I meant Kurt Russell, and technically with.
Yeah, I think The Thing was possibly also my first John Carpenter film as well. Now, I knew about the film years before I actually got to see it, because somebody described seeing the film to me.
Yeah.
And because I was so excited about their description, I kept asking to know more. And I remember having them describe to me the defibrillator scene. I have them telling me about the head crab, about the dog mutation. I was just like, I have to see this film. And I just kept
Gary
nagging.
was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
You know, I'm like 10 years old, you know?
Yeah.
And every week, I'd be asking my mum and dad, like, I want The Thing. Like, get me The Thing. And I finally got The Thing on Christmas Day, and I got to watch it while having Christmas Day dinner. And, yeah.
Your mum must have shit.
That ain't right.
Your mum must have fucking shit.
And, yeah, I have introduced The Thing to countless new people that I've had film nights with and things. It's like, you've never heard or seen The Thing?
We've assimilated people.
Yeah, we have assimilated people. They need to know.
Another great Keith David performance as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Questionable at the end, though.
Well, yeah. Don't get me started on
Was that really
whose
him?
breath you can see.
Is it? Oh, God. The
So yeah, that was my top 5 John Carpenter films.
See,
Ian, we kind of know yours.
yeah.
But do you want to recap?
Well, I don't have a top 5. We had this when you turned to me years ago and said you got to do your fucking top 10 John Carpenter movies. I was like, sweet. So I was just ready to go. And then on the day of recording, Gary's just like, you got to cut it down to 5. And I'm like, what the fuck? You can't make top 5 John Carpenter movies.
Yes, because I found it
every
easy. It's
single
easy
one.
to do top 10.
Yeah.
It's too easy because he's only got really a small.
Yeah, he's
small
only
collection
got
of
a
films.
small collection. And the weird thing is, there's a few that I haven't seen.
Yes,
Like,
I am the same.
I need to see somebody's watching me to actually see all of the films he's done.
I haven't seen The Ward yet.
The
I've
Ward.
not seen The Ward.
The Ward was quite psychological. I watched it the same night I watched The Void.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good flick. I like that
The
movie.
Void was very 80s
Very
body
Lovecraft.
horror.
It's Lovecraft.
Lovecraftian.
Lovecraft.
And then watching The Ward, it was very psychological, and I was happy for that because I knew it was John Carpenter. I'd already wicked it. I knew what was going to happen, but it was still the fact of I'm enjoying a John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
Getting back into a John Carpenter movie. I need to watch it. It's been on the Horror Channel. Black Moon Rising. With Tommy Lee Jones. He plays a guy who has to steal this information for the government and hides it in a car, and the car gets stolen.
John Carpenter directed this?
No,
John
John
Carpenter. Tell me like,
John
and
Carpenter.
the car drove off on its own.
John Carpenter didn't direct it, but he wrote the story.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of need to see it.
Just because it's come from the same mind.
If it's coming from the same mind, because all of his films, they have this certain work, don't they? They have this certain style, the camera work, the music. I mean, every time you hear that noise, some shadows just ran past.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
you're-
that's John Carpenter or Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah. And so when it comes to your top 5, Assault on Precinct 13 is badass.
Yeah.
That's in mine. So on Precinct 13's in mine.
Big Trouble.
Because it's lots of little stories.
Yes.
It's also his first film after Dark Star.
And
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Star 1975.
Yeah,
Assault
Dark
on
Star
Precinct
came
13,
first.
1976.
Oh, do you know what? I was thinking we'll get to when he did Elvis with Kurt Russell in the Kurt Russell bit, I guess, but that was a made-for-TV movie, wasn't
Yes,
it?
that was a
It
made-for-TV
actually,
movie.
Yeah.
But with Assault on Precinct 13, it was really good action, but with the low budgetary that he works with, all shot really dark.
Yeah.
Which I think, obviously, this film suffered with.
Anybody got a smoke?
It was such a great siege movie with awesome characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the dad of the little girl who shot.
Right at the beginning, the ice
I
cream
mean, that
girl.
fucking scene, like,
God.
I just wanted a vanilla. Bang! I'm like, that is
It's harsh. Yeah.
That's John
Yeah,
Carpenter.
I don't know that you get that now.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause it's
yeah.
not like-
you would. You've
I mean,
they've
The
recently done
Purge,
it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the
they,
remake of
so-
Assault.
they've
Like,
recently done it with what was it, Peppermint with Jennifer Garner, where she plays a mum after her kid gets shot in a drive-by. You know, and then
Yeah, but
she
it's
goes
so
all
like
fucking
the
round.
camera doesn't move, dude. In
No.
that
No,
scene.
they
I mean,
don't
get me wrong.
have
In
Carpenter's
retrospect,
eye.
you literally see the paintball hit her. But
Yes.
still, watching it as a kid, you know, like. I mean, I don't know how old I was when I watched that movie. I certainly wasn't of age.
I was
you know what I mean?
older.
So
I was older, but I still, because I hadn't seen it, I still didn't expect it. Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, sorry.
Number 4
something I got to say about Assault on Precinct 13 that is my favourite thing about the whole movie, right?
is Napoleon
This-
Wilson.
No, is the sound that when the fucking gang is shooting up the place and they've all got silencers.
Yes.
It's like pip, 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 pip,
Yes.
and then the police return fire like bang, 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 bang. It's so funny.
Just
and I swear
shotguns
it almost
blasting.
makes a song like because it's that old,
Yeah,
that old school.
Yes.
Like fucking gun sound. It was the best.
The
contrast,
silence,
man.
the
Yeah.
silencers is fucking awesome, especially when that first cop goes out. And the receptionist, she's like, "Oh, he's fallen down."
The
It's
receptionist
like,
doesn't give a fuck that whole movie. She's definitely not like a, oh my god, save me. She's like, oh, this shit again, passing shotgun.
Yeah.
Fine,
I've been
I'm
shot.
ready.
She's like, "I've been shot in the arm."
I mean, that
It's all right.
PlayStation's been in a rough part of town for quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, after the lights aren't on and there's about
Yeah.
2 cops there. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
2
This
days
is what
from
happened if they
closing.
didn't have RoboCop.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, is your number 4?
Number
did you say?
4,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, just like I said, already with Jack Burton, Dennis Dunn. I love the whole idea of fucking David Lopan. Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah, dude.
it took me like...
You've seen him? This guy's 9 foot
He's
tall.
like 9 feet tall. You know, he's huge. And he just gives off this even the old man presence.
Yeah, yeah.
And the special effects of him
This
like
shit,
changing.
when he starts
The
wiggling his
thumbs.
thumbs when they're
Yeah.
having the battle, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
boss.
yeah,
Halloween. Oh my god.
yeah. That's your number 3?
It's just for me. I know a lot of people argue where they're like, well, no, a lot of these horror movies came out before it.
Yeah.
But Halloween, for me, was my first foray into horror.
Yeah.
I would then get introduced with Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. You know, and I missed the quietness of Michael Myers. I got it when I started watching Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
But Jason Voorhees wasn't tactical enough. He was just a merciless fucking killing machine.
True.
And-
Yeah.
It's, Halloween is still like the highest grossing independent movie of all time, all over, isn't it? Or it was
It
for
was
a certain
for a
amount of
while,
time.
yeah.
It
right?
was for a
Yeah.
certain amount of
Yeah.
time. I think maybe Clerks may have been there.
Maybe,
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I mean, but I think for a large amount of time, Halloween was like the biggest grossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like
think
a $300,000
Blair Witch Project set precedent in a modern
Thank you.
one.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. You're absolutely right.
But I think even that one was beaten recently as well.
See, my number 1 is The Thing, and we could talk about The Thing all fucking night.
Yeah.
My number 2, I'm going to chuck these in here because they probably won't get mentioned by you non-Carpenites, shall we say.
What?
You couldn't have just gone with Carpenters.
Yeah.
Carpenites. San Diegons.
Prince of Darkness is badass.
Yes,
I
it is.
love the whole religious idea behind
Are you
that.
going for honourable mentions?
Yeah.
All right.
For number 2, yeah. Prince of Darkness is fucking badass. Dennis Dunn is funny as hell in that.
Is it not Jet
Yeah.
Li?
It's not Jenny. No. Is it Victor Wong as well? Again?
Yes.
As the
Yes,
professor?
the professor. Yeah.
John
We all
Carpenter.
remember him from Tremors.
Oh yeah, Tremors.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's Body Bags.
What?
John Carpenter's Body Bags. Yes.
That's a
Yeah.
great
Anthology movie.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I love. I remember
Did
seeing
that come
it.
off the back of Tales from the Crypt? They did one as well. And I think
yeah,
it
there was
fairly-
quite
Right
a
about the
few
same
close
time,
together,
Tales
weren't
from
they?
the Dark Side.
That's it. Yeah.
I saw it late one
Fucking
night on
gargoyle.
Channel 4. I see this guy, he starts talking, and then there's all these stories. I didn't realise at the time it was John Carpenter. And then I didn't realise at the time when I was watching it that he was dead. That whole bone saw bit where he's just lying there in the bag is fucking pure comedy gold.
I mean, he returned to anthology horror with Masters of Horror, with an episode called Pro-Life in 2006 and Cigarette Burns in 2005.
Nice.
Because that was an anthology TV horror sort of relaunch where they got in different directors.
Yeah, and he just gets
Craven did one, didn't he? I think
Yes.
it was Craven.
he just gets
Yeah.
to tell a story. He just gets to put pen to paper and put something across. You know, it's there in the Halloweens, even up to number 3.
Yeah.
Kind of his presence. But
Did he write 3 seasons?
Yes, he was
Season
there,
of the Witch,
yeah.
right?
he was
yeah.
there. He wanted 3 to be
start
the
an
start
anthology.
of an anthology of different Halloween tales every
And
year.
I love.
But
I
people
like
hated it. They
2,
wanted Michael to come
but-
back.
Yeah, I mean, like in my mind, it ended with 2. Really, 2 was a fantastic sequel. I
Yes.
think that I mean, any sequel. I like any sequel that picks up.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
right at the
Yeah.
end credits of the last one. I'm a
Yes.
big fan of that anyway. Except
Yeah.
for Jeepers Creepers 3.
Well, this
But,
new Halloween is now a sequel to
Halloween, which-
matching
oh, dude.
not
Yes,
plus
that
ending.
trailer was
Number
uh,
2 is
I
not there.
love
Oh, we didn't talk about that trailer in the trailer section.
didn't.
No.
I'm going to bring that in now because
Yeah, go for it.
That new trailer, I analysed it to fuckery.
Okay.
You know, I watched it at least 4 times.
I gotta admit, I watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
I caught up on the second time that they were taking it from the first movie.
Yeah.
After they mentioned he'd only killed like
3
3
people.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Not counting obviously the guy in the van that he killed on the way there. And
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's not, it's his sister. And they're like, no, that's an urban legend and stuff.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like,
I like
retconning
the
all
fact that
stuff.
Laurie, he's hunting Laurie. I like the idea. I like the idea that Laurie is badass.
Hunting him, man. Like, Laurie's
She's-
hunting him. in
She's
this one.
prepared. Jamie Lee Curtis isn't going to
She's
take
got
no
a fucking
shit.
bat cave in her kitchen.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see Jamie Lee Curtis's bat cave. That didn't mean to sound as dirty as I said.
Who goes to see one of the most psychopathic, notorious killers ever,
Oh.
who has to be blocked in the middle of a fucking playground
And
and
bring
show him
the
his
mask.
mask?
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want this? It's like, well,
You
obviously.
deserve it. Whatever's about to happen,
Yeah,
you deserve it. You focus on
everything.
yourselves.
It's not his fault, you know.
There's so many callbacks to so many other sequels, though, isn't there? Like
There
the
are.
gas station and
Yes.
stuff like that. You know, you see him under the ghost thing and the fucking pumpkins in the fish
Yeah.
tank and shit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says.
The only thing I would say is though, there's a couple of bits in the trailer that are obviously clearly out of sequence, possibly in a way
Right.
to throw people off. But I think like it's not really a spoiler because it's in the trailer. But you see a character die,
Yeah.
and then in the next scene he's talking,
there.
and you're like, "Yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a bad thing. It just clearly shows me that we're not getting the whole story from this trailer as the way it's going to go
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a highlights reel
Like
trailer.
I don't think that like when you see in the fucking the trailer, Laurie is like stabbing at him because she's clearly out of bullets or whatever. She's gone like Resident Evil 7 boss on him.
Oh, she'd
Yeah.
be kicking
And
his ass.
I think that might even be early in the film or something.
Yeah.
And then there's like a regroup or something.
No, it's going to be something like her daughter. He's tracking them, and there's all her teen friends that
Isn't
get
that
killed off.
H2O?
Yeah, it will be. It
There's
will be,
nods to it
but
all, though,
Yeah.
isn't it, man? They
Yeah.
have
But
nods. Even
it's-
the zombie version.
it
like,
does look
Yeah.
interesting. And my last honourable mention is John Carpenter's Vampires. John Carpenter's
Yeah.
Ghost of Mars is close because I'm a bit of an Ice Cube fan, and I think it's Natasha
Natasha
Kaczynski.
Henstridge.
Is
You
it
know who
Henstridge?
was supposed to play that role?
Who?
Courtney Love.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I only found this out today because I was thinking about Ghost of Mars, and I was like, I really don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Other than like, I know that Statham was supposed to play Ice Cube's character, fucking Desolation Williams.
Desolation Williams, yeah.
He was supposed to play it and be the lead, and they didn't think that he had.
Statham could do
Statham
it.
wasn't Jason Statham at that time.
Yeah.
So they brought in Ice Cube, and we're still a bit. We need someone else, and brought
Some-
in.
Doesn't
That's
Jason
right.
Statham's character still survive the film?
No, he gets
No, he's
killed off
like the
halfway
support
through,
actor.
but he is a
Right.
bit of a rapist douchebag.
Yeah.
He's always trying to shag Natasha Henstridge.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean,
Right.
she had just done
But-
Species, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
she was enough to turn
Lots of drugs.
everyone
Yeah,
on
she
heat.
was-
You just in her
Do you
presence.
Do you remember the
But
urban-
wasn't it grimdark as fuck, dude? It was like
Yes.
corn cultists on Mars. Like,
Yeah. But didn't they? It reminded me of Dead Space. You know, it was like an artifact that
came before Dead Space.
It did, yeah. And obviously, I remember John Carpenter saying, if I was ever to come out of retirement, I'd fucking make a Dead Space movie.
You know, it was supposed to be a Snake Plissken movie, right? It was supposed to be Escape from Mars.
Escape from Mars, yeah.
Which again, I only found out today. Which I was like, the fuck.
And do you remember the urban legend that everyone thought it was Marilyn Manson playing that lead?
It looked like him, dude. Like, you know. But I did find it funny that Ice Cube's got Snake's wardrobe in that movie, minus the eye patch.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But John Carpenter's Vampires with James Woods, I remember one Christmas, my mum was saying to me,
Billy Baldwin?
It was the first DVD I ever watched, was John Carpenter's Vampires.
Right on. I think the DVD I've got of it is that old flip open.
Yeah.
My
mum said to me, what do you want for Christmas? And John Carpenter's Vampires was just out on VHS then. I was like, I want it because it's John Carpenter to go in my collection.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it. I hadn't had a chance to go see it in the cinema. I don't think I was old enough.
Right.
But,
dude, I rented it.
Yeah.
I was getting an adult to rent it for me.
When I watched it, at the end of it, I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? You know, that was not John Carpenter. That was something else. And then I started to slowly appreciate the original story he was taking with
the
it.
most John Carpenter thing about it was the soundtrack.
Yes, but the vampire ideals as
they
well.
reused that guitar
over and over. It's so
just
good.
To slow the mood, it brought the mood into a real focused, you know, serious shit's happening. Like when he's hugging out with Baldwin, like because he knows he's got to drive off and die with the vampire. And he's like, "I love you,
Slayer.
I'm gonna catch you and fucking kill you." It's like real tight, man.
But that was the thing. They tried to make this whole new vampire lore where, you know, you have only one master who makes all these goons.
Did get a bunch of sequels. I think Bon Jovi turned up in the third one.
Oh, yes. We don't talk about the sequels. But
they're like Dusk Till Dawn sequels.
Yes, they are.
I thought that the one with Bon Jovi in it was another Dusk Till Dawn. I was like, fuck this noise. I'm out. Like,
but it's also, like I said, James Wood's performance. He's just fucking over the top.
My favourite James Woods film.
I think he's enjoyed himself in that role, though. Like, you know, He's like, I'm going to have the career renaissance that John Travolta did by putting on a black leather jacket, being badass.
Pair of sunglasses,
Yeah.
So, Andy, got any John Carpenter movies you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, I mean, I won't give it necessarily in order. I'll just give you top 5, and I've already mentioned my first, but I would definitely put Assault on Precinct 13 in there. Definitely.
Love that film.
It's a hard one to do, isn't it? You know, They Live, Halloween, and The Thing.
Oh God,
you know, yes, but like I said, my top one is Mouth of Madness, but again, I've got to mention Escape from New York, man.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful movie.
What a fucking
Isaac Hayes as well,
dude.
Donald Pleasance.
I wish I'd discovered that film.
You were dead
earlier.
Oh,
Adrian Barbeau in the purple dress.
And you know, it's his most iconic role, really. You know, for
established him as an 80s
but
action hero when he was up against like Arnie and Stallone. Van Damme, Seagal.
I would assume that, like, if we're going to do a top 5, Kurt Russell is probably going to come up against all the same much. But I've got to say that from as a John Carpenter movie, with everything incorporated, the look of it, the soundtrack, it's absolutely one of my favourites. But yeah, my top one is 100% Mouth of Madness because it's just it's Lovecraftian as all.
I know you just said the word, and that was my. I mean, I'd discovered Lovecraft years before it. With films like The Unnameable and there was a couple of others.
Is that the one with the thing in the attic?
Yes.
That film's so shit.
No, I couldn't believe it. Somebody on the comment section asked us to review The Unnameable, and I was like, yes, it's been on the review list
we'll
for
have to do the sequel.
Million decade.
We'll have to do the fucking
You will
sequel.
double bill it. Unnameable and Nameable too. But that film In the Mouth of Madness brought to life more than any other Lovecraftian film
100%.
that mythos.
Yes.
And
but it's still
the old
got
lady
that,
in the basement.
Oh mate, fucking Happy Gilmore's Nan is so messed up in this. She's got like her husband chained to her naked.
She's a tentacle creature in the greenhouse.
She's got the axe and she's chopping him up.
Mrs. Pickman.
Do you know,
the painting that changes?
Oh. Yeah, that's so creepy. It's like that's like The Witch, isn't it? Like you got that, and that's like where he's trying to like check it and everything. And
it's the old guy on the push bike that keeps going past on the road that keeps circling back.
He won't let me leave.
Yeah, man, because it's like that's where you realise in the movie that it's like happening as well. Because it's like everything else has been like that dream sequence. I know it's a bit of a jump scare, but like where he sees the cop beating on the tagger, and then he's got that.
That's John Carpenter.
Fuck, it's Maniac.
That's John Carpenter right there.
Yeah,
and then he does the wake up and he's on the couch next to him.
Yeah.
I because like I said, he's always got that political message, and for me in the Mouth of Madness, what he manages to do is he does this sort of Lovecraftian homage, you know, but also he manages to do a massive kind of like commentary on mass consumerism, where like fucking Sutter Kane's book sales, where you see people writing, I was like, that looked like the fucking last Harry Potter book.
Yeah,
you know, like that's what it was fucking like. You know,
yeah. People
it's
were
fantastic.
getting desperate for the next book.
Fucking bit with the axe.
Oh, like, well, you're really gonna love this.
Sutter Kane?
But I it's like Sam Neill. I've got to admit, I'm not a huge Sam Neill fan, to be honest. But like, probably because Jurassic Park 3. But I remember thinking in that, like, I really related to his character because he's a skeptic.
Yeah.
And I'm the most skeptical atheist you'll ever meet, or anything like that. You know, I'm like, I really do like. Don't get me wrong. I always like to think like the reason I'm an atheist is because I am actually open to. I say I don't have all the answers.
When tentacle creatures start coming at you, that's when you start praying.
I might have switched then. No, I'm not stupid. I'll be praising the Lord too. But I think that as a skeptic myself, it's sort of like you see him just kind of trying to shrug all this shit off. Of sort of like, look, this isn't what you think it is. This is a setup. He's like, he's even like, I think to a point where he's like, these are actors, or this is all set up. And then when they finally find the town, he's like you said, after that long drive, he literally wakes up. He's like, "Oh shit, you found it!" Holy crap! Don't go in that church. There's elder gods in there. But,
that sequence where he tears away the pages into the abyss.
Yeah,
all the creatures come running out.
That effect where he's like, he tears himself open.
Yeah.
And then he's staring out into it, and she's reading from the book, and it's that thing, like, you don't have to see what he's seeing, because you have his reaction.
And that's John Carpenter's camera work. He just gets the camera to focus on Sam Neill, and Sam Neill holds it just like Kurt Russell had done in many of his performances, just like Jamie Lee Curtis had done in some of hers, just like some of the lesser knowns. Like, I mean, we talk about Kurt Russell being a lot, but one of the most overused actors. I meant to write down his name, but I totally forgot. He's been in 7 of John Carpenter movies. Yeah. And he's the smoker at the beginning of In the Mouth of Madness. And he's talking about how he lost all of his stuff in the insurance fire.
Yeah.
That guy has been in 7 performances of John Carpenter.
Darth Vader's in it too.
Yeah?
Yeah, Hayden Christensen's the kid on the bike.
Yes, yeah. We mentioned it in the review. I was
thinking James Earl Jones hasn't been in it.
that Cornish lollipop man was, isn't it? Yeah, totally. Those kids are creepy as fucking as well. And it's like... Yeah, children of the corner run from those fuckers. Like,
well, I mean, Carpenter did do Village of the Damned.
Yes,
1995.
and
the Christopher Reeve version.
Yes,
I've always kind of liked Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Oh shit!
Yes.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, when he's smoking,
yeah,
he's like, "You don't want to see me eat."
Yeah. Starman is a beautiful fucking movie.
Dude, that's an amazing performance. Wasn't that the first Academy Award nomination he got for one of his films, and it was for Jeff Bridges' performance?
Yes, I think so.
I think it was.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges is absolutely stunning in that movie too.
Yeah.
I slightly cry
because I bought where he's like, I just watch what you do. Red light stop, green go, yellow go really fast.
I bought John Carpenter's albums. I bought his anthology film album, and I bought his Lost Themes.
Very good. Yeah.
Lost Themes is absolutely amazing to listen to. It's like listening to an 80s game soundtrack.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Or any of his films. But I'm listening to the anthology. Driving around with Halloween playing is kind of creepy.
Oh, dude, you said the soundtrack. In the Mouth of Man has got the weirdest soundtrack.
That is the first song. So when I get in and I put it on, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready for work, and that guitar.
that guitar.
And I'm just like, I love this. I'm ready to go work. But Starman, you know, when that kicks in on the CD, I'm like, I should skip it because I'm feeling teary-eyed how the film goes. But at the same time, it's an amazing film to think of.
True.
Let's talk about Kurt Russell, though. Let's get some Kurt Russell on the go. I mean,
in the famous last words of Walt Disney, Kurt Russell.
Kurt motherfucking Russell.
Did you know?
If we said that would have been better.
Yes.
That Kurt motherfucking Russell was in Hawaii 5-0 in 1977.
Not your one.
The original TV series.
Yeah. He played Peter Valchek. 1977.
Just a one episode
on TV.
I think so. Maybe it may have been 2 episodes.
He has been in so much.
But it was mostly the films from the late 80s into the 90s, the ones that I really remember him for.
Yeah.
His early career never really touched any of it. And of course, he disappeared. Around 2005, 2006, he kind of just dropped off. I think he also did Grindhouse in 2007.
Yeah, he did that.
The one where he'd not been seen for a while and he popped up.
No, because he had done, the year before that he had done Poseidon.
Oh,
and the year before that he had done Sky High.
What's that?
Oh, I love
Poseidon
Sky
was the
High.
remake of the Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you never seen it?
No, well, I've seen Poseidon Adventure.
It's a
obviously, but I've never
great
seen the
remake. It's a great remake.
I think it was by the director who did Terminator 3.
Good sell.
He did Never Ending Story.
Man, it's got Kurt Russell in it. It's got Kurt Russell.
And it's got Kurt Russell in it.
Have you seen Sky High?
But yeah, it was after 2007's Grindhouse that he disappeared, and then he came back with Tarantino again in 2015 with The Hateful Eight.
What a film.
And Furious 7 2015, and now The Fate of the Furious in 2017.
And Guardians 2.
And Guardians 2, yeah.
Just some of his performances, like I said, I keep seeing him in Captain Ron. That possibly could be my favourite film of all time.
Or Overboard.
Mate, he wears an eye patch in Captain Ron and has a glass eye. It kind of beats it.
Yeah,
you know, those red Speedos. I like him in Overboard, but
that was such a fun film. That was like a guilty pleasure me and my brother used to have.
Yeah, you know, it's like trying to watch Bruce Willis and Demi Moore work together. You know, they work. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn worked together, but they only did one film.
No, I think they had a couple of appearances early career.
I want to say, oh god, yeah, you're right.
I think it's their only performance.
No, I don't think it is. It's definitely not.
But are we just linking into Carpenter throughout the way, or we're going to talk about?
I'll give you my top five.
Top five.
Yeah, top five. Come on, top five.
We got to talk about Soldier.
It's not in my top five, but yeah, we reviewed Soldier already, and yeah, that was. It's because of
another one that's grimdark as all fuck.
It's because of Soldier that. There's a question in the question segment that... Yeah, anyway. Number 5, Tango and Cash. I never thought I would see Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone on screen together.
That's my number one.
It's your number one?
That's my number one,
There you go.
mate.
Yeah, it just...
How good is he bouncing off Sylvester Stallone in there? Sylvester Stallone is just... It feels like he's trying to keep up with Kurt Russell.
No one has more fun making a movie than Kurt Russell in Tango and Cash. He looks like he's just having the best time ever. When they're in the fucking court...
Yeah.
And they're doing the translator's like, Detective Cash put a chair on my neck and sat on it, and Tango just looks at me and goes, I couldn't find a piano. Fucking greatest line ever.
Yeah. Number 4 for me for Kurt Russell is Escape from New York.
Escape from LA is not bad.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. Fuck off.
Number 3
That's a troll.
is Tombstone. Absolutely love his rendition of Wyatt Earp.
Yes.
That performance is also just enhanced by the amount of talented actors with him in that film.
Yeah.
It's just so damn good. Number 2, Big Trouble in Little China. Absolutely love Jack Burton. Immortal character. Number 1, it's the same as Carpenter. It's the thing. McCready.
I was going to say the thing.
When I see Kurt Russell, instantly it's synonymous with McCready. McCready is an astounding character. He's a flawed character. He's a raging alcoholic who's a retired Vietnam War vet.
Yeah.
Who now just likes to pilot helicopters around in complete isolation.
Yeah, the end of the world. Because
that's all he wants. He wants away from everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just such a great
ends
character.
up saving the world. He just ends up saving the world.
Yeah.
The fucking blood test scene is one of the greatest performances.
Yeah.
I've ever seen, and like from everyone involved in that scene, like it's like a group of actors really capturing the moment and the fear within that moment of what you would be going through and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
even the imitations
people that
of
are
them
like,
playing.
I know I'm not the thing, but when you get the fucking relief that it's not you still get that look on their face of like, well, I was pretty sure I'm really glad it is.
I recently listened to an audio story of The Thing, and The Thing, it's narrated by The Thing.
So it's like told in the first person.
And it was and it was curious to say that in that version that when he completes 100% the swap of making somebody, that he considers it a perfect replication when his replicant doesn't know they're the thing.
Yeah.
And only when they are threatened will they become part of the whole again.
Spoilers. Is this the one where it's Childs at the end?
It is, yeah. I took it as fan fiction, but it was done. It was interesting just to listen to.
Because I've just sat here and I've realised that McCready's the thing all the way through.
What?
Get this.
What?
He was just talking about McCready, and I was thinking about The Thing, and I've thought about that movie a million times, right?
Yeah.
And we always talk about the ending and how they can all be different, right? You just said it. The Thing can make a perfect copy.
Yeah.
So what if Norris, after being one of the first ones, we do believe Norris or Palmer is one of the first ones to be taken by
definitely
the shadow
Palmer.
in the room.
Yeah.
It's either Palmer or Norris, because John Carpenter said he's got somebody
That's
who
similar,
isn't the
yeah.
actor,
Yeah.
similar. That person does get hold of McCready, and McCready then threatens. Oh no, because he does the blood test on
actually
himself.
think because
I was
he does
just going
the
to say,
blood
he does
test on
blood test
himself.
the
himself.
thing is,
Let me show you what I already know.
Isn't it
Yeah.
McCready, Norris, and Palmer that go to the alien crash site? Because my theory
No,
is that,
Palmer
that
stays
both
back.
of them.
It's McCready, Norris, and
Fuchs.
is it Fuchs?
It's not Fuchs.
No.
I thought it was
Because
Palmer.
I always thought that McCready flies out to the Thing ship with the two things, and that there were no things left back at the base other than the dog.
No, I don't think it's.
Anyway,
I don't think
yeah,
it's Norris.
no,
Oh,
we
yeah, that's
you
the
can
thing.
theorize and guess and play
it's-
with
it's
who's
just
the
a-
thing, when they're the thing, and
It's just a
McCready's not the thing. The video game said otherwise, and John
Yeah.
Carpenter was in that.
and it
game.
wasn't Charles either.
No, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that.
No,
We're going for a happy ending.
Charles was frozen at the end.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my top 5 Kurt Russell films. Honorable mentions, though, I'm just going to list them off very quickly. That's Overboard. We already mentioned that one.
Yeah.
Backdraft.
Backdraft's a fucking badass movie.
Executive Decision.
Steven Seagal.
Breakdown. Soldier. And Planet Terror.
I love
Planet
Those are my
Terror,
honourable
Planet
mentions.
Death Proof.
Oh, Death Proof. Sorry.
Death Proof.
Death Proof.
Oh man.
Stuntman Mike.
He's fucking
Stuntman
watching
Mike.
Planet Terror with Russell Crowe again.
Yeah. It's a good film. I watched it in that alternate universe I mentioned earlier.
All the zombies come out and he's like, "Oi, let's fight!" Tagger.
Fighting zombies around the world.
As I'm getting older, every Kurt Russell performance is pretty badass. If it's got Kurt Russell on the tagline, the film is going to be good.
There's very few
Regardless-
more charming things I saw than Ego throwing a planetoid ball of energy at Star-Lord and playing catch with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
You
a
know,
great moment.
It's
So fucking charming.
It's so emotional,
Yeah.
but like I said, it's all of the performances with Carpenter that I really, really enjoy, and it's a shame that he doesn't do more. Like
Yeah.
he's done. Like if I was going to list the top 5 with Kurt Russell in, they would be 4.
Like 4 would be John Carpenter movies.
Including Escape from LA, just because it gives me more Snake Plissken. And
Sure.
I want more Snake Plissken, but I think...
They keep talking about a remake for quite a while now.
He's going to come into the ring at the end of Creed 2.
Isn't it one of the greatest examples, though, that you don't remake Escape from New York? Don't remake the
say
same
it
character,
now,
because it's also same cliche. And so, Snake Plissken, best performance.
Yeah.
That's the best performance.
One thing that I do know about Escape from LA is that you know that the basketball scene.
Yeah.
He did all those shots, including
Yes.
the full
final
court
one.
shot.
He did
I
that
didn't know
final
that.
one.
Like, I don't know how many takes he took, but
he
he made
did it.
all of those shots.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
just as good as Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, totally.
For
You
sure.
can beat Ron Perlman in a one-on-one. Well, I already said my top one is Tango and Cash, because it's just, like I said, I think it's his most enjoyable performance to watch. Stallone, he is. You absolutely nailed it. Say he feels like he's trying to keep up with him, but he's still fantastic. It's not like and then he looks bad. He didn't make Stallone look bad.
No.
Stallone looked great, but he just really shone in that movie to me. And in a time where, like, technically he probably shouldn't have. This is at the height of, like, Stallone's muscles and stuff, and, like, you know, when he's coming off of his movies, you know, it's like it's after like Rocky 4, and he was moving away from that franchise. So
Yeah.
Kurt Russell was never invited into the big group, was he?
like Planet Hollywood group,
Yeah, the
of,
Planet
like,
Hollywood.
those
Bruce Willis,
Schwarzenegger,
and
yeah.
Stallone. You know, if they had got
yeah.
Kurt Russell in there, that place would still be booming right
Well,
now.
mate, I mean, the one thing as well I'd say about Tango and Cash is, did you ever want another car other than Christine for you? But that fucking car that they drive at the end, and matey, the little Oracle dude in the back with the I don't know the actor's name. He's been in a few things, obviously, like he was in Scrooge, wasn't he, and stuff. But he's got that awesome, stupid sidekick voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just like, don't
absolutely
scratch
fantastic.
it, and then it just gets blasted.
So
to shit.
that's definitely my one. I mean, you've kind of mentioned my top 5 really, but I'll tell you my number 2 in a minute.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll give an honourable mention to Elvis.
Yes.
It's a made-for-TV movie.
Made-for-TV movie,
I
but
loved
it's
it. That's a
absolutely
John
brilliant.
Carpenter movie, the first
Yes.
time they worked together. And I mean, considering Elvis is quite a baby-faced dude, and like Kurt Russell's rugged, man. He looks rugged, but I know I saw an interview with John Carpenter where he said he encapsulated the energy.
Doesn't he sing
and the
his own
performance.
songs as well?
No, they dubbed him with Elvis. Yeah, so that was amazing. Not the only time he's played Elvis. And I'm not talking about 3,000 Miles to Graceland because he was an Elvis impersonator. He voiced Elvis in Forrest Gump.
Really?
Shit you not. That scene where he's like, "Do a fucking crazy thing again, man," like that, but better than I just did it.
Yeah.
But he voices Elvis in that.
Wow.
scene.
Gets everywhere.
Right.
Gets everywhere.
Okay, here's one for you. Who best Elvis performance? Bruce Campbell, Kurt Russell.
Oh, dude. Are you talking like from Elvis, the TV movie Elvis, and then compared to Bubba Hotep? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a big showdown.
I'm going to throw it to Bruce Campbell because it's his birthday.
Sure, true.
See, I want to say Bruce, Kurt Russell, because it's more dramatic.
It is an amazing performance.
But
and again, because it's like, he doesn't rely on the fact that he's the spitting image of it.
What
so
other film
Yeah,
have they
yeah.
starred against each other?
What, Bruce Campbell and...
Kurt Russell.
Escape from LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
times.
Swing
My
in
God, they're real. Yeah, that was awesome. Quick honourable mention, I will say, just from my childhood, is the Dexter Riley trilogy from Disney.
Yes.
So this is going back to like 1969 up to 75, where you've got Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. Now You See Him, Now You Don't, and then Strongest Man in the World. And
He's like the
one
nutty
is
professor of his school.
Sort of. Well, like in the first one, it's like he gets, like, through an accident, he becomes like a human computer and uses that knowledge to win like a quiz to keep the school going.
Yeah.
All these films as well, Cesar Romero's in them. The Joker from the 60s Batman.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Now You See Him, Now You Don't is like he becomes invisible and like cheats at a golf tournament
Nice.
to win. Like, basically, spoilers. All these movies, he fucking cheats to win.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and then
saves the
World's
day.
Strongest Man basically takes a concoction of this like super strength milk that makes him. He does like an 1,100 pound like press at the end, and like I'm just like, dude, steroids are amazing. Apparently, But as a kid, I remember watching them as a kid. Like I
they were great
didn't think
Disney
of it
movies.
like that. They were live action Disney movies, and
Oh, get a
I
trilogy
love
of
them.
them on
But
DVD.
my second is Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that movie so much. It came off of the back of Django, which is also one of my favourite movies.
It's a shame he died. Well, spoilers, he died halfway through.
Spoilers, everyone does. But
Yeah.
his performance, man, when he does the story with Samuel L. Jackson about having the letter from Lincoln and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's like, when they sit down to a meal, he starts getting called out by the other guy saying, like, you don't have a letter from Abraham Lincoln, it's a fake. And he's like, looking at him, he's like, is that a fake? And he's like, yeah, of course it is. And you can see Kurt Russell wants to eat his face.
Yeah.
Because he's made him look a fool, and this is like, frontier fucking, America's like, your reputation is your life, and he's just like, the whole juxtaposition between him and the rest of the characters when he goes around, he's like confiscating their guy, goes up to Michael Madsen. It's amazing, like, back and forth with Michael Madsen. But the one thing I always remember about that movie that I think I heard it on another podcast is when they were filming. There's a scene where is it Jennifer
Jason Leigh?
Yeah.
Is this captive? She's
Yeah.
playing a song on a guitar.
Oh, she's on
right?
the guitar, yes. The 100-year-old guitar.
145-year-old guitar that no one told him they were going to cut to another guitar, and he fucking smashes it
to pieces.
And her yelling "no, stop" is genuine.
Because that was
the bloody was it like the Martin Guitar Museum, whatever they're called, like after that, like, no one's ever getting a guitar ever again, because it was like it's like 150-year-old guitar that he just wails on. It's fantastic. So I just love that movie. If you're a fan of Tarantino or just like amazing scripts and long drawn out conversations, it's like
it just builds tension,
porn for the ears, man.
It is.
It's like you said, it's a brilliant thing.
It is a version
Remake,
of the thing, isn't it? In a
sequel,
way.
It's a
Well,
boiling
telling-
pot. All those characters in that
Just in-
And there's
isolated
in
no
Round
downtime in that movie. It's
No.
all, there's no.
It's
There's
all
nothing where
building
I'm
to the
take
next
that out.
bit.
Dude. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So that, an honourable mention on Soldier, dude, because I fucking love Soldier. It's stupid as all hell. But it's 40K
replaced.
all fuck, innit?
Yeah.
Gary bloody.
Well, some people
Gary
like
Busey.
to
Gary Busey,
have
fucking
it
awesome.
existing in the Blade Runner universe because there are, in the scrap heap there are items from the Blade Runner
Blade Runner
franchise.
car,
So you can kind of buy it. But
You had that run of like those movies.
It's the film where he gets to emote without speaking.
Oh, dude, his script was written on the back of a chocolate bar wrapper. It's like, he says about 9 words in that. He was trying to beat Arnie in the Terminator, I think.
That action sequence towards the end, he goes up there against Rambo, and I think he's a futuristic Rambo and takes it. You know, just fucking sticking his knife out, killing all the guys.
The guy who played
Yes.
Dragon, is the new hotness and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Jason Isaacs as well, isn't it?
That's
rips
right,
his fucking eye out, doesn't he, in that fight?
Is it
Yeah.
Sean
And May
Bean
gets all
again?
pissed off at him, and I'm like, dude, you just had his eye taken out.
Yeah, and he's not even...
Sean Pertwee, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. He's the...
He's
he's married, and then he's the one who gets killed, and he's like, go and look after my family, and... Soldier's like, yeah, I'm going to go and bang your wife and adopt your son. So and it's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Pent up years of aggression.
Fantastic, yeah. They talk about like planet killer missiles in that film as well, where it's like, you know, we lost a battle on the ground, just nuke it from orbit. Like, this is 40k, it's all fuck. Like,
Yeah.
That whole montage of battle sequences at the beginning, just him walking
and he's
around.
getting like the tattoos. And
when he's going
he's
from
been
planet
on,
to
Space
planet.
Marine style and that.
Yeah.
You seem like, to be fair, you seem like massacred kids in that movie.
Yes,
don't you? Well, you can see it,
families
but,
and
There's so many good Kurt Russell movies. I could watch so many right now. I want to watch The Thing.
Yeah.
I want to watch The Thing.
Always wanna watch that
It's
thing.
time.
Well, I get the feeling, I've got to admit, when I get home, I might end up watching
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
Yeah, I feel like a Hateful Eight.
I need to see that again. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of part 2 of the podcast. We'll be back in part 3 answering your questions.
Yes. Question time.
Welcome back to the third part of the podcast, everyone. We're going to be answering your questions.
I have to say right now, just before we get into this segment, I love this segment. So when I drop a post on the Facebook page about getting questions in, hit up with questions. I mean, I love the questions that we get in. Really, really good, really original.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I want to know your deepest, darkest thoughts. I want to see Gary tremble at reading something off a page. You know, something Lovecraftian. You know? I want some... Yeah. You know the questions I'm
Send me
after.
your revenge porn.
Jeez, Ian.
Sorry, I just want to get out there.
First question's from Matthias.
Hey, man.
Hey, Matthias.
Great podcast, guys. Really happy Ian screwed things up, so Gary got to join. Also...
Yeah, it was good. That was the
Sorry,
whole plan.
did I mention that? Sorry, when you asked me earlier about the LGT, that he phoned me while I was
Ian
in between games.
Yeah.
And at first he was like, hey man, how's the tournament going? I'm like, yeah, it's not too bad. He's like, yeah, that's great. So anyway, I nearly completely fucked Gary's PC. Let me tell you the story a minute. He went on for like 20 minutes. It was captivating.
It was a stressful time, man. It was a stressful time.
It was. It was.
How did it?
Anyway, so, cough, Last Jedi sucks. Cough. Last podcast was on Star Wars.
Okay.
Question for Ian.
Okay.
Let's say on Dylan's birthday, his 10th birthday, you make him watch a movie he has never seen, and you do this every year until he's like 15. Which movies would you pick? I presume they'll get darker as he gets older.
See, I tried to do this with Dylan. I because of the work time that I've got. I'm trying to organise Friday night as my time with him. Mm-hmm. You know, and the thing is, I tried to sit him down and watch films, but I've said this before in previous podcasts. The type of films I was showing him, I realised that there was some content that I wasn't comfortable as a father for him to see at such an age.
Well,
like
I just ask,
Ghostbusters.
actually, in that? Yeah, but okay, all right, that's an interesting one. Ghostbusters. Like,
Yeah.
But did you watch it at his age?
Yes, I did.
So what's changed?
What has changed is the fact that as a parent, I have come to realise I have to slowly desensitize him. If he desensitizes too quickly, he's going to turn out just like his father.
He's going to be playing Doom, going to his dark places.
Yes. And you know, as a parent, I don't know if it's automatic. You know, you might have the same thing with your daughter.
I made Jessica watch Ghostbusters when she was 4.
Yes, you've done some questionable.
Sorry.
I'm not actually. No, I can't really say that.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Cut that. What the fuck?
I wanted to show him all these films. Then Linda obviously was saying, no, you can't. You know, you've got to slowly do it.
Yeah.
So I've let him pick his own films. Like recently, he watched The Mask.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Jessica loves that.
It's only a 12, and he's 9 this year.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too bad. Cameron Diaz with the leg sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, you don't want to be there to know that your son popped his first boner. Like,
I don't. Yeah, but it's a weird analogy. As he gets older, his choice in films will slowly become this thing where I might challenge him with the type of films that he's watching. If I realize it's a remake, I might say, look, watch the original. You know, I will try to introduce him to a lot of John Carpenter movies, but where do I start? You know, do I wait until he's close to 18 so I can sit him down and watch The Thing so he's not completely crazed by it? Or do I wait until he's 15 and show him Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween's a good call though, man, because again, it's like it's not gore heavy and
it's not gory.
Like
but
it's all atmosphere. But it will give him nightmares.
It will give him nightmares. You know, Big Trouble in Little China. That's pretty easy film to go in. But at the moment, as a parent, he's swearing. You know, he's using "damn it" a lot.
That's not too bad.
It's not too
these
bad.
days.
But I know that he's obviously using "damn it" to cover other words that he wants to
as long as he
say.
doesn't call you a cunt at breakfast, pretty much you're on a parenting win these days, dude.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let Dylan watch his own films. Obviously talk him through it, and then try and introduce him to some of the classics as we go along.
Jessica watched The Thing when she was about 2 weeks old.
I would say watched. You know,
Well, she woke up for like the midnight feed, and I took her downstairs, turned the TV on, The Thing was on, and I was looked at her, and I'm like, she'll be fine. She don't even know what she's watching.
Yeah.
Technically,
it's there in the background.
I'm a horrific parent.
The lights and sounds is a bit much.
Yeah. Okay, next question's from Matt Midgley.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, man.
Thanks as always, guys. And my question for the next podcast is: if a film company offered you a large budget with the instructions to make a film that would really scare people, what type of horror movie would you make this month?
Me and Ian wrote it earlier. We wrote it in the break.
Well, yeah, it wasn't technically a horror movie, though. So
I think it would be horrifying.
It would be horrifying. We came up with the idea during the break about The Rock's next film. Now, if Dwayne The Rock Johnson hears this, we have the next film for you. This is from Ian Buckingham and Andrew Burridge.
And we want the credit.
We want the credit, right?
We want to be at the premiere minimum.
It's the next Nutty Professor where Kevin Hart plays a professor.
The nerdy Nutty Professor
Plays
version.
the nerdy. And when he takes a serum, he becomes Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And it ends up with them being a David and Goliath kind of split fight
they
sequence
split.
at the end.
Tell me this ain't going to happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
It's going to be horrific.
Scary?
It's scary. It's a scary thought. It's going to be out there.
Yeah.
See, how do you do horror movies
We should give a guy a
nowadays?
serious answer, but we did like...
I don't know, being Adam Sandler in the style of being John Malkovich.
Whoa.
Okay, what about if you had a budget, Adam Sandler, but it's kind of like a weird, Wonderful Life Saw cut, okay? Where, like in Switch, you know, he finds that remote control and he's trying to better his life and he ends up screwing it up.
Click.
In Click,
yeah.
sorry, Click. In this...
Switch, was there a fuck?
Oh, he's going to be in the next Hellraiser.
Yeah, I already put him there.
He finds the box.
Yeah.
And it ends up killing him over and over and over again. Until
But as all his different movie personas to keep Gary happy. So kills him as Happy Gilmore and then like,
If I was...
why won't you just go away, Box? That's your home.
If I was given an unlimited budget to make a horror movie, I would do a War of the Worlds Independence Day style film that is an R-rated.
Nice.
That's sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's horror as well.
Yeah,
I would have the War of the Worlds when the
Gary's
alien
version
ships
would be.
come down and vaporize people, but they would just liquidate and explode everywhere.
I think you're about to see what happens when you get an unlimited budget for a horror movie when It Chapter 2 hits. Because they are throwing some money at that.
Yeah.
You see they cast, is it Mike, the black kid who stays behind?
I think they've
him.
cast everyone now.
I don't know his name, but it's the dude from the Old Spice adverts who's like, ladies, look at me, I'm on a horse. That guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think James McAvoy's been cast as
Yeah,
well.
dude, and is it... Oh, fuck, I forgot his name. The crazy guy from the start of Pineapple Express. Oh, I forgot his name.
Seth
You know,
Rogen. Daniel
that
McBride.
guy. No, in the opening black and white bit where he's smoking the weed.
Oh, the
can't
fucking...
remember.
Him. You probably know him by face.
The boss from Office Space.
No.
I'm just putting
You
it
just
Just
literally
pulling-
name around people. Anyway, he's in it.
Next question is from Ava Langren.
Hey, Ava.
Have you seen the childish Gambino video, This Is America?
Oh,
if so,
yes.
what are your thoughts? My straight answer is no. I've seen a couple of other news outlets
Have you
and
not seen
YouTube
this?
channels highlight it and bring it up, and I just looked at the thumbnail and I was like, I don't even care.
Right, okay.
I don't care.
I watched this because I didn't know anything about this until the guy who plays Lando Calrissian in the new Han Solo movie
Okay.
is Childish Gambino.
Oh, okay.
It's
Because that was my next question.
It's his onstage DJ persona.
Oh, okay. I'm
and
starting to
he's-
recognise this now. What you're talking about.
And he's made albums before, and
Yeah.
they haven't really got much of a deal. And then he gets out in Lando Calrissian, comes out as Lando Calrissian, and they let him make it this song.
He was in that series as well, wasn't he? Before that was on HBO.
Which one?
Just carry on.
Okay, but he in the video he basically raps about obviously corporate America and all that kind of stuff. It's the fucking
What's having a Disney contract?
while shooting people.
Oh.
Like,
the
there's-
whole thing is supposed to be is like a setup, a parody,
there's
satire.
there's a black gospel choir singing at one point in the song, and the song is fucking the beat is amazing. I mean, I've listened to a lot of black rap in my time. I do like to bob my head to some Dr. Dre every now and again, and Wu-Tang Clan. When I heard this, it was great, and when you hear the black gospel choir start singing and they're all happy, and Childish Gambino comes walking out and he's dancing, he's doing this, he's topless, he's just doing this little dance, picks up an AK-47, just sprays a bunch of bullets, takes him out, and then the beat drops. You're like, ooh.
Was it as good as Enzo Amore's video? Because he drops the lyric "my consensual penis," which might be the greatest lyric of all time.
Enzo, you brought Enzo Amore's
real
rap
one.
video. Enzo Amore's rap video was fucking a disgrace.
My consensual penis.
Disgrace. Raise your finger in the air. I'm like, oh my
mate.
god, that guy almost got tried for rape, and then when he got when the evidence didn't come back, he made a video.
And you can't teach that.
Not as good as Childish Gambino's This Is America. You should watch it.
I might watch it. Just
You got me curious now to watch it.
yeah.
The beat is awesome.
Next question.
Okay.
Is from DMC Campbell.
Hey, DMC.
Hi guys, a question for you all. Do you think that an anthology-based Star Wars series of films would work? The question relates to a book I read once called Tales from Jabba's Palace, which is an anthology of short stories set in the fictional Star Wars universe and covers tales that revolve around the Rancor and his keeper, the Gamorrean Guard and Boba Fett, etc.
Yeah,
Cheers.
the background characters in the
Yeah.
Jabba's
It totally hangs on which story you're telling, doesn't it?
It does,
An
yeah.
anthology movie is basically like how many times do you watch eight ABC of Death? There's 26 stories, and you're like 15 of those were really good.
Yeah.
Something like that. You're going to watch it and be like, that one sucked, but dude, this Boba Fett one was off the
really
fucking
good.
hook, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it could easily be possible. I mean, you could even do like 3 separate stories in one film, but yeah, it's not the way they're going to do it. They're already doing it in a way.
I was going to say they've already done Rogue One. That was a separate story. Solo's a separate story. They're hoping to do
But I mean,
Lando
again, what
Calrissian.
but they're more filling gaps with that. Like Rogue One was filling the gap, within the Death Star and everything, wasn't it? And
Yeah, I suppose we're
suppose,
getting extended.
like that,
separate
it ends
anthology.
on the start of Episode 4, doesn't
true,
it? So,
yeah, it
and
does.
Solo obviously is filling in the origin story and that. So
Yeah, it would work as a Netflix series.
Well, there
doesn't.
is already a live action series in the works for Star
Just
Wars.
a separate episode every now and again of just 22 minutes of something happening on the planet. They did it with Rebels. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question is from Hypnosilic Dreams.
Hey, Dreams.
Hi guys. In some of your reviews, you've talked about movies which feature alien creatures. What I'd like to know is, do you think aliens exist? If so, could they be as scary as the ones in Alien, Predator, or Mac and Me?
Thanks. When he's dancing in the teddybear scene.
Yeah, at McDonald's.
It's a fucking horrible movie.
Do you believe in aliens, Ian?
I would like to believe that aliens exist. I mean, I've gone to the point now where obviously we are all aliens and we shouldn't really be here. There's a whole fucking back history. I understand that, we're from... We jumped from every other planet. That's why we're in a divorce.
Is that why the planet's trying to kill us right now?
That's why all the planets are destroyed, because we've had to jump and wasted them all. And now we've got to here, and we're about to do it here and jump close to the sun, and then the sun's going to explode. And,
I mean, I said earlier, I'm a bit of a skeptic and an atheist. I don't think aliens exist in the way that we think they do, like the little green men and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? I am more inclined to believe that like there's there's life out there, like bacteria, single cell stuff,
that's been confirmed
again,
pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which also would suggest then, like, well, if it was going to be anything like that, it would be more like the Thing or something that takes over its host and everything like that.
Well, depending on the atmosphere that's created.
But I don't, when I see a picture of a flying saucer, I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah. I guess the question is do we believe there is intelligent life out there?
Well, if it is,
like, like Star Trek, like Star Wars.
If it is, it's smart enough not to come to this fucking rock.
Or it's in conjunction with the Men in Black. I mean, we know Area 51 is there, but what's in Area 51?
There's a pair of black sunglasses that when you put them on, you see everyone's face as they really are, and posters change to say obey.
Yeah.
Yes, the lizard people. The lizard people are among us.
My guess is that if we were to ever find an alien life, in order for it to traverse the universe, it would probably just be made of energy.
That's fair.
And I would say that the final evolution of humans is that of robots and that of an AI, and it will be AI and robots that will inherit the universe.
See,
the problem is we'll never explore the universe because we're too busy spending the money arguing about whether or not, like, blokes who have had their dicks chopped off are allowed to use the right toilet.
And which dude died thousands of years ago was more important than which other dude died thousands of years ago.
Well, my book says, well, you should read more than one book.
I mean, isn't that the crazy thing that there is literally no major massive evidence that there is anything out there apart from us?
Yeah.
That is was it?
But then again, our distance of viewing life on other planets is a bit short.
It's minor.
Compared to the billions and billions of stars which have planets.
I mean, there's a slight thought that we may never reach that technological advancement.
First contact.
By the time first contact. Imagine the human race wipes itself out and then the Vulcans turn up and they're like, shit, we shouldn't have stopped. Why did we check that black out?
Should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
They fucking re-engineered dinosaurs again, the stupid fuckers. We fucking blew them up the first time because we knew that's the only way they could survive.
And they brought them back.
Then they realised Trump shouldn't have been president. It says it in his name.
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe that there is a good chance, considering how much we don't know about the universe, that there are intelligent aliens out there. Intelligent to the point that, but obviously they'd be intelligent enough to be able to mask their signal from us ever being able to pick them up.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
Or they've never been able to come up with technology to traverse the universe.
A couple of people that work in my local co-op that I'm like, you know what, if a man in black came in right now, I wouldn't be surprised.
But then again...
Reggie, I told you about this!
I've always said Rowan Atkinson was an alien.
Oh, well, Mr. Bean was.
Yeah.
Would you even remember, though? They could just come in and flash that thing.
Oh, yeah, they might have flashy thinged you.
Body snatchers.
Oh, shit.
We're all imitations.
Imitation.
Next question's from Justin Simon.
Hey, Justin.
Thank you, Gary, for reading my essay question last podcast. I will keep this one much shorter. You have both, it's a similar question,
okay.
You have both been provided a blank check to create your own film, series, trilogy, or TV series.
Oh, we did that with...
What type of series, what genre, and who
check.
has to be part of your cast. Top 5 actors, if you want to narrow it down. Thanks as always for putting out the best reviews. Cheers, Justin.
Yeah, Kurt Russell would be the dean of the college that Kevin Hart is working at.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Would we have Salma Hayek as the love interest or just as like side nurse?
Just on screen all the time.
Yeah, Salma Hayek could be on screen all the time. I mean, who else works well with the role? Oh, John Cena, he could turn up. He could be the PE coach.
What, once in a lifetime, again.
Like,
Mark Wahlberg. Put Mark Wahlberg in it for no reason.
He's just going to throw loads of wrestlers in there.
Well, we got to think about the climactic finale. What would he be showing?
What would he be showing?
Well, what would be the big presentation?
What at the end?
At the end of
I think that's when they separate.
Yeah. So you'd have all these
celebrities. The presentation is like, that's, I did this.
You have Mark Wahlberg, Donald Trump in there as well in the audience. Just to get his ratings up. Good.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right. So Donald Trump's the president, Donald Trump, he's going to usher in this film. He's going to push it forward.
I think with this film we're writing, I think we should let Gary answer this question.
Right, okay.
Gary, what would a sensible person do with a blank check in any trilogy they wanted to make?
For me, I'd answer immediately.
Maybe this
jumped ahead was The Dark Tower.
I would have thought
Especially
so.
after the Abomination film that we got the other year.
Is it really that bad? Because I need to see
Yeah, it was
I've
really
still not
bad.
watched it.
It's
I mean,
Idris
it
Elba.
was a travesty. The filmmakers of that film have forgotten the faces of their fathers.
Ouch.
And
Oh, dude.
I was shocked, appalled, but I knew that going into it when I saw the running length of
Yeah.
the film. When I looked at the cast
It's an
list,
hour and a half, isn't it?
yeah, to tell a story of 7 books.
Oh, fucking yeah.
You know, I was just like,
That's not even possible.
it was like skimming the books. You know, if you had to read all 7 books in an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and you skim the books, that's the impression you would have gotten at the end of it. Granted, I had no problem with Idris Elba as Roland the Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Watching him on screen saying some of the lines of dialogue from the book, watching him reload the gun and shooting loads of people like is described in the book, to see it on screen, I was like, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But when it gets down to the characters, the plot, the mystery, it's just absent and it's just rushed and the visuals are not there. The actors do the best they got with what they've got, which is next to nothing. And so it was abysmal. So, and I do know that, I mean, even before this film came out, it like a decade of it being tried to be in production, whether it being a TV series with a film for the big climactic moments before going back to TV to do the other books and then coming back to finish with a film. I believe Ron Howard at the moment is now attached to a Dark Tower TV series.
See, make one 2 hours, two and a half hours long.
Yeah,
Try and tell
10 episodes, seasons in between the films.
Just get one out. End it in a way that you can actually carry on. Make it a trilogy, but end the trilogy that you can carry on, but you don't have to.
No, it has to end. The book ends. I mean, I don't want to go too many into the spoilers for
Does
it, but
the book really end, Gary?
well,
Does
it's
the
cyclical.
Dark Tower really
It's
end?
cyclical, so it's
You'll
like
always
Dark
go
Souls.
back to it.
You
He's
know,
always
and the
going.
next one you're back where you were,
That
but
cowboy,
things have changed. Times have changed.
I've never read it, but that cowboy is always walking towards that tower.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Even when he's not.
Even when he's not.
So for my cast, if I were to cast, and I mean this is mainly going to be for those that know the story, will know the characters. For the Man in Black, I would actually recast Matthew McConaughey, who plays the Man in Black
Nice.
in the film. He did a good enough job. I like him as an actor.
He's got a serious face about him.
The character is Randall Flagg, who has, of course, been in
The Stand.
The Stand and has appeared in other books and stories as well. So,
Yeah.
I would keep Matthew McConaughey. For Oi, I don't know if you know it, it's kind of like a sheep-dog hybrid creature thing.
Okay.
I'd get Andy Serkis to do it.
Right on.
Simple. The character...
Is the dog in the
no,
Idris
it's not
Elba movie?
No.
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 Okay.
For the character of Susanna, which is African-American handicapped woman, she's in a
Okay.
wheelchair, I would cast Zoe Saldana.
Is that Gamora?
Yeah.
Yes.
For the character of Eddie, which is the guy who pretty much is a coke head,
Yeah.
who ends up obviously having to deal with his drug addiction when he ends up in the Dark Tower universe. I would cast either Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad
Okay.
or Sam Rockwell.
Nice.
And
Sam Rockwell in anything.
yes, exactly, yeah. So
He's
those
another
I
Kurt
couldn't
Russell.
decide. For the role of Jake, which is like the 11-year-old boy, I kind of left that one open because I was given
that
5
kid
to
from
cast.
Stranger Things.
The kid from Stranger Things,
Like any
yeah,
of them. Just
any of
that
them.
kid from Stranger Things, yeah.
Yeah, and for the role of the gunslinger,
Yeah.
I thought about it for ages, and I was like, maybe Christian Bale would be good. I mean, the role was kind of written for
How serious do you want to go?
for Clint Eastwood. It really was.
Yeah.
But of course, he's too old now. So honestly,
Liam Neeson then.
I came to
Jason Statham.
Oh.
Kurt motherfucking Russell
Yeah.
would be an amazing old gunslinger. Yeah, and, just dress him up a bit. He could do it really well, especially with the fact that he doesn't talk that much to begin with, and he can emote through his eyes
Yeah,
like
but he's
the soldier.
He's too positive. He can be too positive. I mean, I don't know how the gunslinger is. Does the gunslinger smile and wink towards the camera like he knows?
No, but he has that. I could see him portraying the fact that he adopts that 11-year-old boy Jake, who died, gets hit by a taxi in New York, appears in his world, and he dies again in his world, gets killed by zombies, I believe, but then appears again because there's dimensional shifts and all sorts. And, you know, watching the Roland gunslinger change from being this hard-ass gunslinger to one who loses most of the fingers on one of his hands, you know, kind of Walking Dead style comic.
Nice.
And having to deal with the fact that he's now looking after this boy, injuries, and yeah. It's an amazing series. It will be an amazing series if it's done and handled right.
That's all your money
If I had a blank check, I mean, don't ask me to cast it, but I'd literally just make 2 Batman movies of Dark Victory and Long Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's all based around the Falcone crime family. It's like Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Tim Sale illustrating it. It's just fucking 2 of the best like runs on Batman ever, and it's all just Batman being a fucking detective. Doesn't need to take down.
Don't see many films with that.
He doesn't need to fucking get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
All of the fucking dialogue is contained within like thought bubbles because it's just Batman thinking about whose neck he's gonna break.
Yeah.
You know,
he just has to investigate.
And it is fully focused on it gives you such amazing background of the Falcone crime family and like how they're tied into Gotham, and that'd be amazing. That'd be my perfect Batman movies.
Nice. Who would you get? Who would you cast, and who would you have directing it?
You know what? I mean, I'd honestly.
Affleck would be good.
I'd fucking let Affleck have another
Affleck
go.
would do it.
Yeah.
If he was up for doing it, you know, and because I'd like it. I mean, that Justice League was a kick in the dick, but I mean, when he's under the cowl, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'd buy him as Batman.
The thing is, anybody can be Batman. You know, it's just you've got to be able to portray Bruce Wayne at the same time. You've got to portray that strong, powerful
I think he's
male.
great at that. You know,
and most of the Batman we have been strong, confident.
Maybe
males.
John Hamm.
Who's John Hamm?
From like what was it? The advertising one. What was it? He's been shitloads, dude. Mad Men. He's in Mad Men.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. But can he move in the suit as well? They've got to be able to move.
Anyone can.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Or Kevin Hart, whichever.
Kevin Hart. He could be Robin.
No. Get a fucking pad.
No, we're gonna have the whole what's he called? Batman 3. No, Batman 4 syndrome. Batman
and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
Where fucking Robin's like 40 years old.
Is it Jason?
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris
O'Donnell.
Next question is from... I can never say that. How do you say that? Fucking
How do you say that?
username,
Fuck you, give me a username.
Yeah, that guy.
Fuck you, give me a username.
You guys consider doing live events?
I think this guy might want to shoot us.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be?
He can come across a bit forceful. Sorry, I mean, I know it's the internet and messages can come across, but we get a lot of shit sometimes, man. We get a lot of shit, and live events.
We do live events.
24-hour Twitch stream.
We've done 2 years running.
Oh
now.
yeah, that kind of live event is fine.
Yeah,
but, public appearance. I mean,
public appearance. Amazing.
You know,
host off-the-shelf reviews gathering.
I mean, they poison
publicly.
Russian agents publicly.
Why not, man?
know?
I mean, in a way, you get to that point. If you could find a space
if we
to
get,
do it.
If we get
everyone
large
does
enough,
Q&As.
Yeah, we can definitely do it. Have a party, get everyone who's ever appeared on the channel there.
You do the fucking live podcast thing or whatever.
Yeah, and we'll sit there and review a film or do a live chat interaction with everyone whilst drinking in a venue. It can be organised. I just think we need to grow just a little bit more.
Yeah, we need to grow a little bit more.
Donate on Patreon.
Yes.
You know, if everyone wants to do that. Then...
If you could call out to your friends, ask them what films they want us to review.
Yeah.
You know?
Share the fuck out of the channel. Anyone who's listening who wants the channel to get bigger, share the shit out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Next question is from Craig Hall.
Hey
man.
Alright chaps, great last podcast,
yeah, he loves you, man.
Dude, Craig's awesome.
Who do you think has been the most inspired pick for a superhero role?
See, we're a fucking great
concept. Keep up the good
Ben
work.
Affleck.
We're bad.
For me, I'd say Robert Downey Jr. I mean,
I was thinking that, dude.
He was a great pick, and he is the face that launched Marvel as we know it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've just had this all with Avengers 4, and all the press has been about Iron Man was 10 years ago, and Iron Man kicked it off, you know.
Yeah.
I also think that Chris Hemsworth is fucking Thor. It's like...
I was going to say any of the Guardians of the Galaxy cast. Yeah. You know, even Vin Diesel.
Johnny Storm as Captain America.
Johnny Storm as Captain America.
You know, it's just how do you get away with that? How do you get 2 Marvel characters under your belt?
I'm still holding out for Idris Elba to play Jon Stewart in a Green Lantern movie.
Yeah.
And that might end up being the most perfect casting of all time. But, I mean, even, fucking
Wolverine
Hugh Jackman
actor,
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman
Jackman.
ruled it in the end,
Yes,
didn't he? You know,
yeah.
he's really turned that into his own guy.
I mean, you said you guys have seen Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Brolin as Cable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, he's
yeah.
fucking
Is
funny.
he good?
Yeah, he's good, but he's kind of just stone-faced Josh Brolin all the way through it.
Yeah, but is it Cable as well? Does it come across as...
Yeah,
I don't
how
know
you
Cable
saw
as
Cable.
much as you can.
So-
Cable is the definition of a comic book character, and if you think about live action, the only thing outside of the comics you've seen in the animated series of
Yes,
X-Men,
yeah,
a lot, haven't
yeah.
you, right? I mean,
The whole time traveling thing
he's
works.
close to it. Dude, I'll tell you this: he's fucking strapped in that movie. He's built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
That-
Well, it's just
I know
done
you've
Thanos,
not
so-
seen it, but there is
Yeah.
there is a moment where Deadpool 2 calls Cable Thanos.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's
Because
the
he managed to
fucking
pull off
bomb.
Thanos as well.
Yeah.
I've seen all the details where he's obviously got it all marked up
Mo-capping
and he's
and everything.
mo-capping and they're looking at obviously the tennis balls above his head and I'm like, you just create these amazing characters.
How does this end up looking good?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
Have you noticed how many different shades of blue or purple he's been over the years?
Yeah.
Blue
Yeah.
is my favourite colour.
So-
I think that I do think I would probably say in the modern age of comic books, probably the best casting I think is Chris Hemsworth. I almost can't imagine anyone else playing Thor after him.
No.
Unless they bring Liam in. We're just gonna cycle Hemsworths.
Yeah.
I don't
let's
fucking
go
know.
for all the brothers.
See, I
Thor
am,
looks young in this. Well, he's a god. What can you say?
I am thinking Christopher Reeve as Superman as well.
That's a good.
Yeah,
fucking
another
call,
good
man.
pick.
That's a good
Yeah.
pick.
That's set
he's
Superman.
Fucking good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next question's from David Allen Evans.
Hey,
Hey, David.
All right, gents, what is your take on the Final Fantasy VII remake? While I have only been able to play certain games in the series due to them all being remade,
Yeah.
they at least managed to retain the identity of the original title, and I can just literally say that they were ports where they basically just updated the graphics or added cutscenes or voiceovers to the games, but the games themselves remained the same.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy VII Remake, however, seems to be being made by people who didn't understand the original's appeal and want to overhaul it into something gaudy to try and reach the same widespread success it had back in '97, which I don't think is possible. Love the show, never change. Yeah. So,
I'd like to start with, I've seen some footage where you don't have this side battling, like in the original Final
it's
Fantasy
not
VII.
turn-based combat anymore.
it's all
It's like the last
live
Final
action.
Fantasy game.
Oh, okay.
I played Crisis Core on the PSP.
Is
which
that not
the,
probably better though? Like if they're gonna remake Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
what I was going to say is
you got to try and make it like a
Crisis,
It's a
Crisis
new game.
Core.
It is being built from the ground up, but it's having the exact same characters undergo the exact same storyline.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But more fleshed out.
The battle sequences are more fluid, so you just end up doing it all.
The only
Yeah.
footage
In
I've seen is a
time.
couple of the summons, which I was like,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, they're going to change the battle system a little bit.
Well,
but-
completely.
Unless you've played like previous ones. Like I said, I played Crisis Core on the PSP, and that was the story set. It was the guy that Cloud wanted to be in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but you played him, and you learned the backstory to Sephiroth
Yeah.
and how that all came about. And that battle system was obviously was what they're looking like they're trying to do with this one. So I'm like, that will work as long as you can get your basic core fans to get their mind around it, because then they will boost obviously the sales
Yeah.
of everybody else who,
Well,
you know, if somebody says the control system is way too hard, nobody will play it.
yeah, but I mean, what we were like, I'm guessing like 12, 13 when Final Fantasy VII came out. Because I remember being in secondary
Yeah.
school.
yeah.
So it's like this is just all the
You're
12,
gonna have
13,
this-
14-year-old kids now. This is their Final Fantasy VII. That's what it's going to be. Isn't
Yeah,
it,
as
basically?
long as you can hit the
You're
action,
hitting-
magic,
if you-
summons,
yeah,
items.
you're
Yeah.
just hitting the new version of the same market.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it was about 3
Well, the new
years ago
generation,
now
sorry, that's
that the
fine.
announcement trailer was shown, and like there's been like scarce news since that announcement trailer, and it led a lot of people to believe that the project was secretly cancelled.
Was there anything in E3?
No,
No.
but and that's again,
that's not good.
and again that's why everyone wanted to know why is it not there.
They're going to see if Resident
And-
Evil 2 is any good.
Square Enix literally popped their heads up and just said that, we are still making it. Now, part of the game was being leased out to another company, which were making assets and things for the game. But since then, Square Enix have severed ties with that company, and
they
now
fucked up.
Final Fantasy VII is all being done in-house.
Yes.
They've also said that, they've also brought in the original scriptwriter for Final Fantasy VII to talk to him about the characters and flesh out more dialogue. It's going to go more into the backstory of the terrorist organization that they are at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Is it No, Soldier is the place he works for.
I'm not going to lie, I can't
remember. It's been quite...
I played that game through once in its entirety when it came out. That's,
Yeah, I played it through 3 or 4 times, actually. It was a beloved game. It's one of my most cherished and favourite games ever.
It's an amazing game.
And
That's going to bug me.
But yeah, so I mean, this combat system is built more like the Final Fantasy games that we've had this last decade. Mm-hmm. It's not turn-based. It's a whole new game. Now, what they've also said is that this is going to be episodic. Now, immediately, some people were just like, oh, is this going to be like Telltale?
Yeah.
But no, they've said that it's possibly going to be 2 games. So it'll be Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Part 2. They'll release years apart from each other.
Oh.
But they intend to make Part 1 an entire experience. They said that because the amount of expansion that they're doing for this retelling of Final Fantasy VII, it's impossible to be one game.
Yeah, when Cloud leaves, if you remember.
So they're splitting the story in 2,
gang on your own.
making it so that the game feels like an ending is achieved by the end, with the whole setup of everything else going on in the second half. And I'm fine with it, I'm just like...
I think you've just sort of like reasoned why it's taken so bloody long.
Yeah, they're rebuilding everything. And I think it will be... It has to be. Because it'd probably be a death nail for Square Enix if this remake doesn't sell.
Yeah.
I think it will. I absolutely think it will.
I'll be on the buy list, yeah.
I also don't know what platforms it's going to be, whether it's going to be PlayStation exclusive or not.
Man, it'll be all of them.
It has to be. It's going to have to be.
So.
PlayStation exclusive will probably have like the
rest of the
most of them are have become now. Yeah.
You'll probably have like the skin for the PlayStation owners only, so they can just play as
specific.
They can play as Cloud
items
from the original.
Graphics.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is from Jack Hawkins.
Hey Jack.
Hey guys, my question this week: who, in your opinion, is the worst actor in cinema today?
Hit it, Gary.
Keep up the great work. Fist bump. And do I have to answer it? Can somebody just say it for me?
What, Adam Sandler?
Yeah, you go.
You want to say Adam Sandler?
Yeah, there we go.
See,
but I don't even think he's in cinema. Is he still in cinema? He's on Netflix now, isn't he?
Netflix. That was a good shit.
That's it. So he's
Seth MacFarlane is
he's out of cinemas.
Seth MacFarlane is worse.
Yeah.
His film, I mean, he's only done one
1,000
film.
Ways to Die in the West.
He voiced Ted, but Mark Wahlberg kind of saved that movie.
Well, you said, all right. So sorry, when you say Seth MacFarlane, because obviously he's more a writer, you're actually saying his performance, which is based on
Million Ways to Die. I can't even make it all the way through. I want to kill myself 35 minutes in.
It's not great. I don't know actually.
You say Adam Sandler, but there's some films he does okay.
Vin Diesel's pretty terrible and everything.
I like Riddick.
Chronicles.
I like Riddick and I like Groot.
Well, yeah, but I mean, fuck me. I am Groot. How hard is that?
Yeah.
No,
but I do like the Riddick character. I like the universe.
See, I do like to think Jason Statham sometimes.
Yeah.
The last
that's why I like him.
performance that he did was Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
That was great.
He's just this
That is
dickhead.
great.
And he was fantastic. I'm not being a prick because he's a dick. No, he played that part really well.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking good.
I can't wait for Meg. I really can't wait for Meg.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a book that, again, I read like 20 fucking years ago, so I've been like begging for this movie for that long, and I love me a shark movie.
Yes,
I even watched that fucking 47 Feet Down or whatever it was
I even
called,
watched Deep Blue Sea too.
I did too.
God,
I'm
really?
like, that movie starts with a song called Deep Blue Sea like it's a Bond movie, and I was like, strap yourself in.
Well, that song by LL Cool J is pretty deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark fin. Great song.
Next question's from...
I'm changing my answer to LL Cool J.
Chris Thornton.
Hey Chris.
What are your thoughts on Resident Evil 2 Remake, which was announced at E3 for January 2019 release?
No.
I am a massive fan of the series since Resident Evil Code Veronica X on the PS2, and the remake looks more ferocious and has more horror than the original Resident Evil 2.
Oh, he's a youngling, bless him.
Exactly.
I've been there since Code Veronica. I'm like, Dude.
It's like 3 games before that one. Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut, Resident Evil 2,
It's going to be
3,
episodic and it's going to be download. You're going to have to buy everything.
But I think it's going to be good.
No, Resident Evil 2 is not going to be.
No, it's not. It's going to be. It's only going to be half the game.
It
gonna
is
sell out.
half the game.
The company's going to
You
go
still
bankrupt
get to
before
choose
January.
to play whether you want to play as Leon or whether you want to play as Claire. The only thing is that when you do your second playthrough, it doesn't impact the other player's story.
The other
So
player's gonna be
each one
downloadable
has a
content.
beginning, middle, and its own end. But yes, they have. Again, now they finally revealed that footage. It is just like Resident Evil 4. It's not like old Resident Evil games.
It looks great.
It does look great.
His face, he didn't even know about it. I was like,
Well, I mean,
either.
I've known for years about Resident Evil 2 remake, and every month or so I try and look at something, and there has been nothing. But yeah, on the day of the announcement of when they've shown the footage, the day after, I wasn't aware of it. So yeah, Ian brought it to my attention, and I was gobsmacked at how visually, beautifully animated it all is. The way that, and I forget, I'm totally fine with them doing the camera angles the way that they've done it.
Yeah.
Because I love
Resident
Resident Evil
4.
2, and if I ever want to play Resident Evil 2, I will fucking just speedrun Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love that game. This, for me, is a total reimagined reboot of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Going with the camera angle that they've done it is fantastic. For the way that the camera moves in those videos, and if that's in the gameplay, which I believe it is, it's so fluid so that when a zombie comes up behind you and the camera moves up to the zombie's mouth coming and biting down on you as you scramble with your joypad or use the security knife to, get the zombie off you, that's intense.
Stab.
They've also said that the difficulty is there. If you get bitten by one zombie and then another one bites you, game over, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, they've upped the difficulty. They said if you do not put the zombies down, you're dead. If you do not run away, you're dead. They've made the difficulty there, and I'm quite liking that because there are a lot of zombies in some of those corridor areas. I love the flavour that they've given it, where there are other police officers still alive in the police station when you get there that you can go and rescue or watch get killed in horrible ways.
You know the stories
But
there.
just like Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut and the Resident Evil 1 HD remake, they've moved items around.
Yeah.
They've gone, oh, you remember seeing a liquor here? Well, guess what? Now it's here.
Now.
So it can make you jump and scare you all over again. They fleshed out the characters, the voice acting. It looks amazing. I really, really cannot wait for it. And it's early. I think it's January next year.
January.
It's also using the Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil Biohazard game engine, which was really good as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's going to be shit.
Absolutely.
It's going to be total shit.
Absolutely can't wait.
Yeah.
Next question is from Derek O'Sullivan.
Hey, Derek.
What's the best superhero film of all time? And did you think the reboot of A Nightmare was as terrible as the critics say?
Oh, Darkman is the greatest superhero movie of all time.
Nope.
Sam Raimi and
Liam Neeson.
Liam-
Great.
Neeson.
Fucking great. But no.
no.
It's The Incredibles.
The Incredibles is pretty good.
Incredibles 2. I think it's out in America.
Yeah,
It's out here soon.
I've not seen Incredibles 2 yet, but Incredibles is hands down the best superhero movie I've ever seen.
For me, I listed my favourite superhero movies. Superman, 1978.
Nice.
Logan, 2017.
Nice.
The Dark Knight, 2008.
Perfect
And
sequel.
Guardians of the Galaxy, 2014.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Those are the
all
ones
great
I think are the
movies.
best
All great
for me
movies, totally.
personally as well. And yes, the
Again, I
remake
would
of
also say there's a difference between a comic book movie and a superhero movie.
True.
Because, that's what Incredibles is the best superhero movie.
Yeah,
I've
that's
ever
why
seen.
Darkman is, because he's
Yeah.
fucking...
Yeah, dude, I fucking love Darkman.
Isn't Ash a superhero at this point?
Fair play. I think that's a good show.
Yes.
The remake of Nightmare was absolutely atrocious. I watched it in the cinema and I hated the entire time I was there.
What was with the twist? I mean, there was a slight moment where you thought he might be innocent. In the
Yeah.
whole
Didn't they
Yeah.
kill Nancy off and then focus on the other girl who died first in the original?
No.
Didn't they?
I think so. Do you know, I'm not going to lie, I can't remember. The main thing that I take from the movie, like you said, was that twist where it's like... And at first I was kind of like, oh, that's really interesting the way they're going, and it took me a moment to realise, like, that's shit.
That's
I
complete
did my
shit.
best to
shit.
forget it.
That he would be an innocent guy who would purposely come back to fucking be a demon.
But
fucking
the guy playing his name, I can never remember, fucking Rorschach. I liked him as Freddy Krueger. I thought he was good. Because, I'm not being funny, but it's like, no one's ever going to be as good as Robert Englund. You're going to have to let that shit go if you want a new Nightmare. You know,
it was
it's
interesting that he did audition for the role of Freddy Krueger for the original film and turn up the audition with Johnny Depp, who was his friend.
The problem with him doing that, though, was before I
Is
even
it
watched
Jackie Earl
I
Haley?
don't know.
I think was his name.
before I even watched the
Rorschach.
film, I already
Yeah.
knew what was kind of going to happen. They were going to beat Freddy, but let him go at the same time.
Well,
You know, they grab him and pull him out of the dream. Now they've got this demon killer in the real world that they can take out.
yeah.
What do they do?
Set him on fire and send him back to...
Send him back to hell.
Yeah.
So throw a stick of dynamite at his legs, and he's gone back. And it's like, okay, now we got to go with sequels, and that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, or so, yeah.
I preferred Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy
Yes.
versus Jason.
It's a better fucking plot.
That was the best
But
of those characters.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind
that.
that dude. I thought he did a good job as Freddy, as good as you can do without being Robert Englund
Yeah,
dream
just...
sequences,
in the film that he had. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the dream sequences were filmed quite well, with them falling asleep, standing up, and him.
Like micro
Like when he
naps.
gets right in their face and stuff, like, you know,
Yeah.
he's intimidating, man. He was good. It was just
Tried to make it
fucking-
scary again, but
Yeah.
for me, I was
Shit
just
fucking
getting
shit.
annoyed
Yeah.
as the film carried on. Next question is from Will Schwarting.
Hey, Will.
Scenario: you two are being held hostage by some real badasses.
Oh shit.
Let's say the equivalent of John Wick.
Okay.
You're dead.
What 80s action film character would you choose to save your asses?
Kurt motherfucking Russell.
Snake
Thanks,
little
and
character.
keep being awesome, fellas. Yeah, Slate Plissken's
Snake
the only one
Plissken.
who can turn up and save us.
Yeah. That's it.
Kurt, Snake Plissken, Jack Burton.
No, this is like
But Jack Burton would not be able to
is
save
like,
you.
This is like what happened in South Park with the Happy Time Cruisers, where they send Kurt Russell through the Stargate, and he's like, "I'm just an actor." Like, yeah, but you were in that movie that was kind of like this that time. You can't get Kurt Russell to come save us.
Yeah.
It's like, unless he's wearing an eye patch, we're fucked.
Yeah, there's got to be Snake Plissken.
Any character, whatever the character was, Chuck Norris played in Missing in Action, he'd probably get that.
Yeah.
John Wick would do it. If
He-
it's John Wick, motherfuckers, John Wick would do it.
No,
Yeah,
'cause
but it's
we're
gotta
being
be
held
80s.
by
It's
John
gotta be
Wick.
an
It's
80s
gotta be
Almost being
character.
held by John Wick. See, I did see a picture.
What about
a picture of-
Matrix from Commando?
Yeah.
John Matrix would just
Yeah.
fuck that place up.
See, Liam
We'd probably
Neeson's
die in the
character-
John
explosion.
McClane. Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Keith
Riggs and
Lerman.
Murtaugh. And they'd crack wise while
Yeah.
they did it.
Man,
Yeah.
the room's just
Robocop. Yeah.
Ned 209 just parachutes in.
As long as it's the RoboCop from the remake, like the old RoboCop remake,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
in the sponge suit version, walking in.
He's just a head. Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the hell we did wrong to piss off John Wick.
Fuck with his dog, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you see all the memes?
I lost
that
his
came out
dog,
with
didn't I?
Avengers?
I lost his dog.
Yeah. Did you see all the memes that came out with Avengers, where it's sort of like, well, it was a cartoon strip, and it was like when he rocks up to Doctor Strange, and he's like, "I want the spoilers, by the way. I want the time stone," and like Doctor Strange is like, "It's in this puppy," and he's like, "Idiot," and he just rips the puppy apart and grabs the stone's like, "Why did you think that would stop me?" And they're like, "That's John Wick's puppy," and you see Thanos go like, "Oh shit."
See, we would upset him by doing John Wick 3. We would review John Wick 3.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be very good.
No.
That's probably
Well,
one.
I didn't think the second one was that particularly good either.
I mean, second
Yeah.
one weren't as good as the first one. I still
No.
enjoyed it though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it, but it was... It
It wasn't
pushed
John Wick
the
one
no,
at the end of the day.
no. Next question is from Lewis Chineri.
Hey, Lewis.
Hey guys, great reviews and podcast as usual. What other hobbies do you guys have?
We are 40k heads. Well, me and Andy are.
All 40k.
You
all
are
the time,
you are a plastic crack addict.
Yep. Self-confessed.
fucking-
Don't give a fuck.
He loves the smell of the glue and the paint. Just
Have
the-
a man cave at home so I can lock myself away and paint my models and come up with lists to lose friends and alienate people. And
Yeah.
go to 40k tournaments. Yeah.
So I think 40k is
Reading
my
and
only
stuff.
other hobby.
Other than wrestling, is that a
I mean,
hobby?
well,
or-
I mean, if
wrestling's
you've got
not
an
really a
interest,
hobby.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
I
definitely
mean,
like,
wrestling's
yeah,
an interest.
I've said before on the
Computer
podcast,
games are an
like
interest.
I love my family. My feelings for wrestling run way deeper than that. You know,
Yeah. For
Gary?
me, I guess it's
Yeah.
just board gaming.
too right.
You know,
You have spent a lot of money on board games.
in the
recently.
last 2
Arkham
months, I
box
have
set.
just spent 220 quid on the Arkham Horror Living card game. And as soon as I
Nice.
get home from work tomorrow, I've got the guys coming round and we're going to finish our campaign. It'll be episode 8 of the campaign.
Money well spent.
It's really good.
How many people have died?
Out of the 4 of us, none of us have died. My character has suffered 2 sanity loss, Jez's character suffered 2 sanity loss. Liam and Jeff's characters have both suffered 3 or 4 sanity loss.
They've seen some shit.
We're paying the price for some of the decisions that we made early on in the campaign.
Oh.
All of the professors that we've rescued, all of them were sacrificed to Yog Shoggoth.
Losers.
Yeah, so we have nobody in the group that knows exactly what's going on.
Oh, the world is
we were at the point of just resigning, and I said, no, let's play it on. My character wants to survive the end of the campaign to watch the world go mad. And that's what I'm going to be playing out tomorrow. And then, I just spent another 120 quid on campaign 2 for Arkham, introducing more characters to play with, more cards. It's lots of
Isn't
more
it
cards.
amazing what business it is now, like board games and tabletop games?
Yes.
It's had a beautiful renaissance in the last few years, and it's really taken off.
Computer games have got so samey that it's
I
just
think
more
a little bit,
sociable
or
to get a
maybe
board
I've
it's
game.
always
not so
been-
much
I
that,
was
it's just
always a
maybe
board
that
gamer.
the other industry is just up their fucking game, really.
For sure.
You've written us a 40k narrative campaign, actually, haven't you, for me and you to play out? Because
Yeah,
I normally,
yeah.
like I said, I normally play competitive match play, and you.
Well, I've got my
we decided
Space
we'd
Wolf
have a
Codex
break.
coming soon. That's
Oh,
going to be
so
my credit
every day
card
I'm
is
getting
going to
texts
take a
and stuff,
hit by the Space Wolf Codex.
Dude, my Space Wolf card is
You
gonna be
are
insane,
so
like,
fucked when that drops, mate. You're going to be like, I'm not taking this.
You
I'll be like,
you
I
have
know.
gone on about
I
this
know.
codex for so long
gonna
that
fucking-
you better smash me into the deck in every
Smash
game.
you. 11 las cannons.
The answer to everything isn't las cannons.
It is.
It's just the answer to most things.
It's most things. It's las cannons.
Next question is from Ken Hayward.
Hey,
Ken.
I think first time questioner. I've not seen the name before.
Welcome.
Have you ever thought of reviewing story intense games the same way you review movies like Resident Evil or Dead Space? It would be interesting to get your take on the strengths and weaknesses of the plots, endings, and characters, etc. Cheers.
Telltale ones would be easy to do first, wouldn't they? Like episodic
True.
ones, I guess.
We've
Yeah.
always wanted to go back to sequential Saturdays.
Well, I mean,
and just
I know-
record storylines all the way through. Play the games as the characters.
no, I think he means like we do our film reviews on Thursdays.
Right.
But
you just sit down and talk
but
about
it's
the
this
plot.
time it's a video game,
Okay.
and we have all the footage of the game to go in between. And it's something that we talked about. That was what we were going to do for Gaming Fridays. That was what it was going to be.
Yes.
But the amount of work involved in playing a game to completion every week, getting all the footage and splicing it together and getting our thoughts,
Yes.
it was just like...
mind-boggling.
It was,
My mind's exploded already.
Yeah, I bulk at the idea. I mean, managing that as well as running everything else, we'd need to be full time on the channel. You know, even like those that are the best in their field or the most popular on YouTube, like Angry Joe.
Yeah.
You know, only does like one big review like that almost a month. Sometimes one every 2 months. If we decided to do that, Ian, what I would do is I would cancel Gaming Fridays. I would cut Gaming Fridays entirely.
Yeah.
And once a month or once every 2 months, we would review an entire video game like we do the film reviews, provided we both had the chance then to play the entire game through to give the review.
The problem
Think about it,
is...
it's like an average game is like, say, 10 hours for a single player if you smash through it.
Yeah.
Like a movie, say 2 hours that you can skip back and forward through. Like you say, you're talking about you have to physically go through 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah. Recording the footage, logging the
like-
footage, the moments things happened, and
Yeah.
It's a lot to take on.
it
on
would
top
be a
of
big
everything that
job.
we already do at the moment.
Yes.
And
It's somewhere I would like to go and somewhere I'd like to play around with.
I'm not that good of a gamer. I'm good. I'm not that good.
It'd just be 10 hours of you dying.
You know, Gary.
Yeah, we
that's
can
it.
just
When
edit
I
the
die, Gary
montages of you
beats me.
dying.
He
You
just
know?
beats me. You know.
Get good.
Go back to the
Get good,
Catherine.
Get good.
Go back to the Catherine replays. You know, I tried.
God,
I
no.
really tried.
Have I removed those videos off the channel?
No,
Yeah,
those are the best ones.
Final question for the podcast is from Ash Whittingham.
Hey, Ash.
Film of 2018 so far. For me, I'm going to say Avengers Infinity War is up there. You know, it's joined like the $1 billion club in film history of the highest grossing movies of all time.
I think I saw Captain Ron this year.
Well, was it released this year?
No, but I saw it.
For me, I'm also going to chuck up Annihilation. Really enjoyed that one.
Which one's Annihilation?
It's
Is that
the one with
Natalie
Natalie Portman.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. That's a good story.
Yeah, just good, thick sci-fi for me. Really enjoyed that. But for me, if I'm at the moment, considering my top 10 of the movies for the end of the year podcast.
Yeah.
And the number one film for me probably this year is going to be Three Billboards
totally
Outside
gonna say the
Ebbing,
same
Missouri, which
Oh.
came out.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, it came out in 2017 in America, but it came out on the 12th of January in the UK.
Wow.
So it is a 2018 film for me.
Yeah,
So, and it will probably be film of the year
Sam
by the end
Rockwell.
of the year.
I agree.
Yeah,
100% agree.
cool.
I mean, like you said, Avengers is up there, sure. It's a fucking great movie. Deadpool 2 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to
With
see
that.
Deadpool 2.
It's a bit mixed, but I really fucking enjoy it. If you like the first one, there's no reason why you won't love the
I
second
mean, I
one.
need to see The Incredibles 2.
Yeah, that could be it, definitely. If I finally
I need
get
to
a
see
live
Super
action,
Troopers 2.
if I finally get a live action Mulan, that could end up being it, because I fucking
Yeah.
love Mulan.
Yeah. Isn't Mowgli out this year?
live action new
Oh,
Lion
fuck, do
King
we
as well.
need that
No.
again?
Mowgli.
No, we only had...
Fucking Jungle Book and Peter Pan are two fucking friends that can fuck off. I'm
Yeah.
sick to death of seeing a movie a year from them.
Live
We're going to
action
get a live
Sword in
action
the Stone.
Pinocchio.
Live
See,
action
I
Pinocchio.
I hate as well. Was Justice League this year?
With Kevin
Or was
Hart.
that late last year?
Look,
The wounds are still fresh. I hate that I don't even enter that into the fucking mix,
Geppetto as Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Do you mean Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Geppetto?
As Geppetto.
And Kevin Hart plays
Kevin
Pinocchio?
Hart
no.
played
The
Pinocchio.
Rock needs to be Jiminy Cricket.
On Kevin Hart's shoulder, who plays
That
Pinocchio.
totally works.
Oh,
That totally works.
that's it. Who would? Kurt Russell would play Geppetto.
Yeah, with beard and all. That works.
Quentin Tarantino directs. He's working for Disney, isn't he?
What?
Isn't he?
Yeah. And I thought he was involved in the Star Trek.
Oh yeah, he's trying to get Star Trek done, isn't
Yeah.
he? He'll probably jump ship.
I don't know. Could you
probably
imagine
jump start
Jean-Luc Picard with Tarantino?
Well, after his Green Room performance,
Yeah.
that's a dark Picard.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of this podcast. Just want to say thank you, Andy. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
all for listening. We'll be back next month with another podcast. Of course, new film reviews on Thursdays. Gaming Fridays.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you
Love you,
next
mate.
time.